time.
Yo,
I
what's
thought it
going on? Hey, we live, baby. 4th of July. 4th of July on the East Coast officially. Crypto, you're not in the 4th of July yet, right?
Nope, 1 hour behind.
So happy 4th of July to everybody who's watching this. We got 6 people so far on Twitter, not
Happy
on
4th to
YouTube
all
yet.
those in the East. Those in the East, happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July. Daniel Barry Sports, what's going on? Evening. Happy 4th of July to you, brother. Hope you are well. Hope everybody's doing well this 4th of July. Remember not to blow your fingers off.
Yeah. JPP, he has taught us a valuable lesson on how to toss a grenade. So stay safe, my friends. Make sure you when you throw one of those M80s, release it. You have to let it go. You can't hold on to it. Just want to put that out there. That would be a good idea to let go of the M80 when you light it. It's not a fun outcome when you hold on to it.
What's up, MCJB? What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
What's up, MCJB? Speaking of M80s, MCJB, the M80 of the rap community. It's got those bombs going off.
Bombs bursting in the air.
Yep. Throwing those lyrics. MCJB is the M80 of the Dolphins community. There we go. The bombs bursting in air. We got all kinds of fireworks going off in the next 24 hours across the country, coast to coast. Who's going to set it off? Who's going to have the greatest displays? I know we got a whole bunch of it. It's going to be going off in our backyard, Shake.
What's up, Rhino? How you doing, man?
What's going on, Rhino? Happy 4th.
Hey, let me ask you a question,
What's
Crypto.
going on? You go ahead.
If you could have decided what day of the year to celebrate 4th of July, what Independence Day, what day would you think to have it on?
I would now say Juneteenth now, since that's the official.
Yeah.
All of us got all of our rights completely. I would switch it back 2 weeks. I'll make it June 19th. Yeah. I would make it the official Independence Day, since everyone was finally liberated. As far as knowledge of being liberated, because of the birdie in the South didn't get down to the guys in Galveston, Texas.
Hey, this is a good one. The first Sunday of the month, in my opinion. Yeah.
The first Sunday.
I like that too.
First Sunday of July, or the first Sunday of the year?
Yeah, first Sunday of July. Hell yeah.
July. Okay. Okay, I thought you were talking about the first Sunday of the year, because that will change every year.
Actually, mine would probably be mine would probably be
that will be the first Sunday
of February or April.
The first Sunday of this month is the 7th.
What's up?
Because last Sunday was June 30th, so it will be, so actually based on that, it will be the 7th of July. The first Sunday is the 7th.
Yeah, I would have loved to do it on either March or April.
So you saying
March, because March is because we have to rename it. I like March because the reason I like March is because that's when it's you can actually be outside, and when it's bearable.
Talking about weather-wise?
Yeah. What's going on, man?
Okay. Who's that?
That's EM. That's the Texas legend right there, man.
Whoa. Hold on. A legend.
So
You gotta elaborate on that legend. Wait a minute. Whoa, legend.
hey,
What's
check
going
this
on
out.
here?
So hey, speaking of legend, look at this. This is the woman that Tyreek Hill tackled.
He tackled all right. Looks like it was some bombs bursting in that outfit she's got it
Damn.
going. There's definitely some bombs bursting in that. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Well, Tyreek had a lot to tackle. Tell you
Oh
that
man.
much.
She's padded. Damn right she's padded.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of bums bursting in that one. Even she had on red. She even had on red. All she
Yeah,
needed
man.
was some white and blue. Maybe she's got on some white stockings and some blue shoes. Tyreek, man. So you think they're gonna run him up out of town, Shake? You think they're running him up out of town?
Nah, I don't think so.
So he'll get a second chance?
I don't know, man.
The rumor is he will be in court for the first couple of weeks of the season as a possibility. I don't know how much is that is true. If he's going to be having to miss practices during the weekdays, but yet you could still play on Sundays because nobody is actually in a courtroom on a Sunday. So most likely you could miss practice leading up into the games, which means you have no practice time, but you
Mhm.
could probably most likely still play the game with no practice for a couple of weeks. That could be a possibility. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Still plays for the first 3, 4 weeks, but no practices because you're sitting in front of a judge sorting some things out. It's interesting.
Speaking of people who accused, apparently, uh, Deshaun Watson celebrated 5 years with his girlfriend. His
5 years.
anniversary. Yeah,
Was
five
it the
years.
one from the massage parlor, or is it one from
Some hold on.
the lady in Houston, or she's from Cleveland?
No, she was with her since they've been together since Houston.
Okay,
Yeah, man.
so
She's
5 years they've been together. So that means she stuck with him through
mhm.
the whole so-called scandal.
Yeah, pretty much.
If she's with him now, because that scandal was less than 5 years, it's like 3 years removed from it. So yeah, I mean she stuck with him through that whole episode. That's interesting.
What's good, Cruz Ruiz?
What's going on? The EM said there was some holes in his house.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what he said?
I think that's what he said.
Oh, damn.
DM's a hoe, by the way. Damn.
Yeah, that's on the street.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The Spurs are coming back.
Yeah, the Spurs is officially a poverty franchise. So
Yeah.
just want to put that out there. It's official now. Spurs, see the Spurs, the Gators,
The
the Marlins,
Kings, the Utah Jazz.
and let's see, the Marlins.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And
Heat.
we got our 2 championships. I don't care.
Those I heard those were Mickey Mouse championships.
Mickey Mouse, yeah, we beat the Cleveland, and that's the funny part, man. The funny part, ironically, that the Marlins, right? They won that championship.
You talking about the
On a,
'97? The which one? The last one?
the 93 and the
The
90, the
2000.
2003 and the 97, right? Supposedly they won. They won their first championship on an Indian burial ground, right? And
Yeah,
the team they beat was the Cleveland Indians.
yeah, right. The team they beat the previous 6 years, and then the following one they won it on the grounds. What you
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah. Which it was
By the
gift
way,
wrapped by freaking Moises Alou, so they should be having a damn statue of Moises Alou on the damn stadium. Should be a
CCR is
statue.
starting a GoFundMe for Tua. Who's in?
I think Scummy's in that one.
Yeah, I'm probably sure.
I think I think Scummy's in that one. CCR, he's in that one. Yeah, he said he asked me if he's asking if Tua was cut. We cut we cut a head coach. We cut offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. A lot of people have been cut since we drafted Tua. Just
Mhm.
not Tua.
Would you say Hawk Tua?
just not just not Tua. We had a lot of people cut.
So
Oh, that's her.
that's her right
And she
there.
looked like what's her name? What's that famous actor? Not Tracy Ellis. This other woman.
They make a lovely couple, don't they?
They do look like each other, kind of a little bit.
Mm.
Look like they siblings.
Hey, incest
5
is the
years.
best, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't think she was underage. She don't look like she look older than him. But that guy we drafted last week was dating apparently underage women. That's why he fell in the draft. So
Who's that?
Kalowski, I think his name. I forget his name.
Oh, they said Chop Robinson. I'm like, damn, Chop Robinson. Damn, he dating.
No, the guy we drafted in the second round for the Jazz.
The offensive tackle.
No, the Jazz.
Oh, okay. What did he do?
He was the lady he was dating at that time. She was 17.
Oh shit.
They since been engaged. I'm like, well, then y'all do your homework. Why would y'all now say it now after he fell? But apparently that was the reason. But they got to realize that that's normal in the state of Utah. Like
Incest
polygamy, a lot of polygamy and underage dating.
and magic underwear.
that's that's normal in Utah. You can normally have like 5 wives. So
Damn.
yeah. So yeah, that's probably why the Jazz did draft him. Every donation helps. Well, we do appreciate it. CCR.
Yes. He's talking about he wants to get the tour.
It's dark. It's a dark time to be a weak armed quarterback. Q is in the chat.
Yeah. Rhino EM.
I think for the 4th of July, I propose that the NFL have a summer league and have a farm system, and it gets kicked off on the 4th of July.
Damn. The fact that Crypto says it's no more in Utah, insert Karl Malone.
Karl Malone, insert Karl Malone. It's normal.
Damn. That's some nasty work.
Yeah, that is. I don't know. Nene, you might have to elaborate on that.
What's up, Color? How you doing, man?
Karl Malone is a model citizen. Nene. Just want to put that out there. Karl Malone's a model citizen.
Hey man, look at this. We got between Twitter and YouTube, we got 60 people watching with insomnia.
Yeah, everybody's got insomnia. There we go.
Hey, hold it down. I'll be back. I'm gonna get myself a drink.
Okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna pour me one while I'm here. My bottle is up here with me, so I'm gonna pour me one. So we appreciate it. Welcome, Color. Nene, I don't know if she was 12 years old, but they said she was 17. So now it's 12. The next evolution of that is gonna be like he got a 9-year-old pregnant. So how come we keep decreasing the age every 3 months? I don't understand, Nene. They said it was 17, you say 12. The next evolution will be 9. So somebody got some explaining to do on that one, Nene. But hey,
I
wasn't the judge of that.
What's up, guys? I just came up to remind everybody, all of our British audience members, the U.S. is 2-0 against y'all. Just so you know.
Yeah, I guess officially, unless we're talking about the some recent event on the
I think that's pretty much the
British
last time was 1812, man. I think so. We're 2-0.
I thought you was counting like the British Open or something or tennis match.
Right.
I thought you was going to count one of the tennis or golf matches or something.
Well, they tried a rematch in 1812. It didn't work out so well.
Right, the rematch was 1812, and then 2024, the U.S. and British Open wasn't too good for them. And then we're going to follow it up because we got the Olympics next month to be kicked off in France, in Paris, France, and we're going to kick them again. We're going to kick their asses yet again come the Olympics, bringing home about 40 gold medals, about 50 silver medals, and about 82 bronze medals. There you go. You heard it here first.
Oh, man.
Those are the numbers.
So, Color, the question of the day, I'm posing this to everybody who comes up on the panel, right? By the way, since you're here, I'll honor you by, here you go. Couldn't find my glass, so you know what?
As if you needed that excuse.
I couldn't find my glass, so there you go.
Oh, right. Nice. So yeah, so it does have that logo. Okay, I could deal with that. I was worried I could never get it again.
So anyway, the question of the day is, if you
no coffee in there,
if you could choose a day to celebrate Independence Day besides 4th of July, what day would it be? Right. So far, crypto was June 9th, Juneteenth.
Right.
That's I say March, the first week of March. Rhino says the first Sunday of July.
Nobody said Cinco de Mayo yet?
Not yet. It's coming.
Not yet.
We got to get enough participants.
Maybe my 18th birthday. I don't
know. What day of the month of the year, if you could choose to celebrate it, what day would it be?
Man,
Leap day.
I would say maybe the day we actually signed the Constitution in 1789.
Huh?
Yeah, that would be the no-brainer approach. Yeah.
You could also go with now I understand the point of June 19th. But officially, according to the records, you know, the emancipation was officially enacted on, in 18, whichever, I don't know the exact date of the Emancipation Proclamation, but That would be a good one for a new, anniversary date. You know what I mean? Maybe it'd be a good middle compromise between June 19th and July 4th. You know what I mean?
What's up, Molly Ma?
Well, that would make it June the 30th, pretty much.
Right.
Hey, speaking of America, we got America's team. What's going on, man? Molly Ma?
Not much. I got 20 minutes to spare while I'm on this break.
What's up, Molly?
I didn't know we was talking about the Cubs. You said America's team. What I missed?
Mm-hmm.
Molly Moore, what's up?
Ain't nothing much. Just hopped on while I got this 20-minute break. See what you guys talking about.
Oh, you at work? Okay.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the truck to come back so we can start loading up.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay.
Q says he likes the 4th of July, right into summertime.
Yeah, I'm on vacation. You're not in Dallas area. You in
Yeah, I'm in the DC area. I'm right now in the Forestville warehouse.
Forestville. Okay, you're on the other side of where my house is at. Yeah.
So Shake, you could also go with the date of secession, because that was the date at which we pretty much reformed as whichever states were left in the Union.
The first 13 colony
settlements. Right. Because those were the states left in the Union, and then we just took states like we used to take and took the southern states. You know what I mean? So it's like the new formed country at the point of secession, really.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You go
and then we just took land, and then we just took land like we did the first time.
Right. It would have to be whenever Delaware was settled.
Right.
So what's up, my man? Mountie Dolphins.
Whenever Delaware became a state, it would be that one. Yeah.
Right.
No, when soon we got over the Delaware River, that would be it. That would be the day.
No, I mean like the day that the South seceded, because then we're a new set of Union colonies, you know what I mean? That said, this is what we stand for. And then we just went and took all the evil people's land. I know they used to be part of the United States, but we had to like retake them. You know what I mean? So we kind of reformed at the point they decided to leave. And then we just took their land back from them.
Well, that was the thing, if I recall. That's the Whiskey Rebellion. So when it rebelled, the Whiskey Rebellion.
Like, maybe the Whiskey Rebellion.
Maybe the day of the attack on Fort Sumter.
South Carolina. Yeah.
So Black Sheep saying, the South was, slavery was evil. That's right. The South was evil. That's what I said, Black Sheep. But Black Sheep saying that Juneteenth, Texas was one of the last states, not the last state to be free. So can somebody educate me on that?
Well, everybody was officially free, but he talking about far as other settlements throughout Arkansas and other parts of the South that was still kind of slow coming around to it.
Right. Well, and then there's also the violation of civil rights for the next few decades. You know what I mean? Of course.
Yeah, the next 100+ years, right? So, well, if you want to say 1964 was the official one, 65, but yeah, that was a date now. Whenever LBJ signed it.
So why has this got to be confrontational, bro? What do you mean proud of my ancestors? Do you even know who my ancestors are, Black Sheep?
Huh?
You don't. You have no idea who my ancestors are.
Oh, he said you're proud of them.
Oh, you think I was born in Florida?
Apparently,
you think
not.
My family was born in Florida. Like, really?
He must think he was born in South America.
No, I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida. So my family, I'm in Florida. So my ancestors must be from the South.
Mm-hmm.
It's like so stupid.
Not South Carolina.
You're born in Germany. But hey, listen. On a lighter note, real quick, Molly Mo, we know where our quarterback contract situation is. How's the quarterback situation in Dallas?
Where was that last year?
About the same. So they're gonna pay him eventually. They're just gonna wait, and they're gonna trade him to the Dolphins for a first round pick on
No,
the player swap.
what they're going to do is they're going to pay CD Lamb first, and then they're going to restructure CD Lamb and then pay Dak.
Okay, pay him, restructure, free up the money, give Dak his $60 million, and then trade him to the Dolphins for Tua.
Hey, how much do you? That's a good question though, Crypto. Do you think that's a 1-to-1 trade, or who do you think commands like picks or whatever? You know what I mean?
This might sound biased.
I know black sheep. I know black sheep. I know you were just. I know, but don't worry about it, man. It was all love, man.
I think we'll get the picks because Tua haven't made it to the playoffs or won in the playoffs.
Right. So you guys may ask us for another pick.
Yeah, it's not going to be high. It's not going to be like a 4th or 5th.
If it's just a player swap, they'll say give us a second and a third, and Tua, you get Dak, and that'll be the deal.
Yeah. Tua did grow up a Cowboys fan.
I heard that rumor too. Did we get confirmation on that from Nene? Didn't Tua?
Yeah, he did. He did. He said
Cowboys
Tua. Tua said that the reason why he was a Cowboys fan is because they were on a lot of primetime games.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
In Hawaii, they play a lot. Yeah, exactly. They was a primetime team in Hawaii.
Otherwise, they'd have to watch their afternoon football at like 5 a.m.
And
Tua being a Cowboys fan, that makes sense.
Also, like 2008 to like 2015, our real training camp was in Hawaii.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Dallas was really?
Yeah.
Y'all had y'all training camp there. Oh yeah, they're gonna get even more fans. Yeah.
Where else can you recreate the dome atmosphere without a dome?
Yeah. pretty much. Yep. Hawaii 5-0.
Does it ever rain in Hawaii? I don't know.
Tropical storm.
They got acid rain.
Oh, so they get spot rains, like
yeah.
And when it comes like a monsoon for a couple days.
It cuts like a knife.
Yep. Now that's a knife.
Speaking of monsoons, look at that hurricane down in the
do that,
Caribbean, man. Jeez.
If Jerry Jones settle, he say I want one wide receiver, I'm going to draft another guy, and then you guys, even though you guys have won with Tony Romo, Aikman, and who was the other guy in between? I slipped my mind. Y'all was able to build somewhat winners, but you guys have never overloaded on one room versus the other. You always kept a balanced approach.
Oh, we overloaded. That running back room was overloaded.
Well, I'm glad you're here tonight, Molly. I got a question. I'm sorry, Crypto. I thought you were finished.
Yeah, you're right. The running back, but you guys never overused them. Like, for example, when you had Emmitt Smith, you didn't have another Emmitt Smith in the room. You had Emmitt, and then you had Moose Johnson. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you were more balanced in that way. You never had more like two guys that's so good at the same thing.
And I want to real quickly, I just want to verbalize this for the people that are only listening. Nene says prayers to Jamaica enduring that storm. Yeah, absolutely. Thinking about them, definitely.
Yeah,
that's a nasty booger down there right now. Molly, I'm glad you're here tonight, man, because I kind of got I didn't want to. I pondered whether I should be serious about making this take publicly or not, but I got a question for you as a Dallas fan, because you would know better than me. Do you think that both teams, the Dolphins and the Cowboys, or I should say, what do you think about the thought that both the Cowboys and the Dolphins quarterbacks currently are in a situation that is very similar in regards to what they overall have actually accomplished in their career, juxtaposed to how much money they want to command? Right now, arguably, Dak should command more money than Tua. Okay, in my opinion. That's a debate I don't want to spin off on.
I would say if
it's probably not much more. It's probably not much more, But I look at Dak as sort of a Jared Goff kind of guy, right?
No, I'm saying if Dak signed his contract first, say if he signed for like 58,
Okay.
I think Tua would sign 58 and a half because it's always the next man
See,
up.
but that's the thing. I don't
Let's see,
necessarily
that creates
agree
a
with that
problem.
part. That's why I didn't want to get on that side debate. Suffice it to say, I don't think Dak deserves to reset the market, but I know that he makes a better case than Tua does. You know what I mean? At the same time, that doesn't mean y'all are really feeling that way about him, and you might just be, like you said, going through the motions of next guy up. In which case, both guys are also in a situation where you could argue that to get both of them over that next hump that they're trying to get over, maybe a change of scenery could be the benefit to both quarterbacks and both teams if you're going with that kind of if you're one of those people that believes in that. And so what I'm saying is it possible that the Dolphins would feel more comfortable giving a bigger bag to Dak? Likewise, the Cowboys would feel more comfortable giving a mid bag to a guy like Tua and just trading off, hoping that both benefit from a change of scenery.
Being a Cowboys fan, I would say no, because the Jones family, not just Jerry, the entire Jones family, absolutely loves Dak. Dak is getting paid, whether he get paid tomorrow or he get paid at the end of the year. He's going to get his money. They're not letting Dak Prescott walk out the door.
So the Jones family really love the guy.
If you go to TNT Stadium, you would think he won 4 Super Bowls. As many statues that man posted, that man got up.
Oh, damn. I know that.
And that's kind of where my question really lies at is it, am I just in a bubble? Am I in my own echo chamber? You know what I mean? Like would another team like Dallas actually be saying, hey, we think we can win with this guy when it comes to looking at a guy like Tua? Or am I just like, not in an echo chamber, and I'm right to say that most teams probably ain't beating down the door to call us?
If they was equal and they was both in free agency, I think Dallas would sign Tua before they signed Dak.
If they was in free agency.
But because of the money, they wouldn't give him Dak's deal, though.
No, they would. It would be close, but it would be less.
Fair enough. If it close is probably still the same mood, the same idea. You know what I mean?
Off by like $2-3 million. It's not really that much off, but
I think Dak has already been paid outside of his rookie deal, though. Dak is in year 8 or 9.
Right.
This will be his third contract.
Right. And see, now the argument was about Jared Goff not being the next guy up was that this was his third contract, and he just got on the brink of a second Super Bowl.
Jared Goff took a pay cut so they can pay all them young people.
Well, I tend to agree with you there because I think Jared Goff should have commanded more, to be honest with you.
He took a pay cut because they got a lot of people coming up next year that they got to pay.
Maybe he just kind of feels that way about himself too. I don't know. There's always that.
But not much money. They don't have to pay like big time players other than Amon-Ra's already got his money.
But what I'm saying is, if Jared Goff said, "Nope, I want another $7 million," do you think the Lions don't pay that?
Probably not, because they got Branch coming up. They got 3 of their 5 offensive linemen coming up. They got to get paid. They have a lot of people got to get paid,
but not high enough where it's gonna mess up the quarterback pay.
Right. I know Panay Sewell is going to get paid. Hey, hold on real quick. Let me welcome Q to the program.
I was just about to do that, Shake, because I'm glad Q is also a non-Dolphins fan.
Yeah, Panay will do. He's coming,
but he's also a Tua fan. So I want to ask you the same question. If, let's say, the same scenario was at play with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Q, what would your fan base and you yourself feel about something like that?
What you mean? What you talking about, Carl?
Like, how would you feel if, like, your top got your quarterback that, most would say your team believes in and your team wanted to trade up even with Tua? Like, would your organization feel differently about Tua than I do?
I think it depends on the situation. I think for the Steelers, yeah, it would be
Yeah.
interesting.
I hear you sound
in
low.
terms of the can you hear me now?
It was
Can
a
you hear
little
him?
low. It was a little low.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Am I good now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I mean, I can hear you all right. Here,
All
I can mic him up too. Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Q.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, much better. Much better. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So I think it depends on the situation, Carter. For the Steelers, I think they'd be interested into it. They would kind of see what they have in Tua,
Especially because
whatever
of their
options
style
may
of
present.
play and their style of winning.
Yeah.
Sure.
And not only that, it's because the caliber of quarterback in terms of recent history, not very good, right? A lot of potential, not very good. And I could say the same for Tua as well. But in recent history, Tua has more of the the stats that could back him up and the recent performance in terms of last year.
Right. Well, you
But
guys
when
are
we talk
rolling
about the
with.
Dallas,
You guys got Wilson, right?
yeah, Russell Wilson. Well,
Oh, okay. Right.
it's one of those situations where they say
Wilson
he's going to start out the season, and Justin Fields is just going to be his, but we really don't know until training camp. But in terms of the Dallas Cowboys, they're not going to. I don't think it's the Dallas Cowboys have no interest into it because of the performance which Dak Prescott had last year.
Right. So they're willing to
and
pay
I'm
that extra for Dak, is what you're basically
yeah.
saying. Wouldn't come off of that. Right.
Because to me that'll be a downgrade if they have an interest in Tua thinking.
Right.
But if and they wouldn't trade Dak for Tua at all.
Right. And don't get me wrong. The
so I
only reason
said,
I'm even going down this road and having this conversation is so we can squash the idea once and for all. You know what I mean? So nobody actually takes it seriously.
Here you go.
Yeah.
EM, here's a link. EM
I know
said he's
EM's
coming
about
up.
to come up and
what
try
me
to
down.
roast me, but I'm only doing this so we can squash the idea.
Yeah, I don't think if they wanted to trade Dak, they would have traded Dak at the beginning of the year.
I want to ask.
his
I know
production is fairly
I know some of y'all. Go
high.
ahead, Kirk, my bad.
No, I'm just saying because Dak, despite us having a 70-point outing, actually just by a fraction, Dallas still edged us out for the most points per game. Y'all don't realize that.
Yes, they
Dallas
did. Yes, they did. By what is it, 0.6 or something? Crypto.
Right. Despite us having a 70-point game and having such a head start on them, they still managed to catch us and lead the league in points per game.
That's a false narrative. Remember,
I mean, I'm just saying that's what happened based on just the raw numbers.
Deron Bland had 7 of those touchdowns on defense.
But
Well, yeah. I'm not. You know what? I'd have to do the math, Molly Mall. I'd have to do the math, but I'm not sure if these charts we're looking at may be talking about just offensive scores. I'm not really sure. I'd have to do the math myself and compare.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right, Molly Mall. We got to also remember we also had defensive touchdowns too.
Right. And that's what I would have to do. I'd have to take a team that I know, like the Dolphins, and run through and say, yeah, I remember that game. This was a defense, and I'd have to do the math and compare to what their number is. I'm pretty sure they only factor offensive touchdowns. Otherwise, why would it be in the offensive section?
And if y'all had 7 offensive touchdowns, remember that 70-point outing we had was enough to cover us for 2 full games. So the amount of defensive, y'all had to have a significant amount of defensive touchdowns to overthrow that 70-point outing. That was all offensive touchdowns. Not one single point was offensively.
And Molly Mall, the other thing is, if like on the defensive side, if you look at points per game allowed, they don't take off because the defense scored a touchdown in a game. They don't give them credit, you know what I mean, for 7 points or 6 points.
No, I was just saying I'm not looking at the stat in front of me, so you might be right.
Right. Oh, as far as the actual stat number, Crypto is right. You guys were like 0.6 ahead of us per game in scoring.
Oh man. And real quick, let me welcome KP to the program. What's going on, KP?
Dak Prescott ability.
What's up, fam?
And I'm sorry, KB, and everybody else. Real quick, KB,
yet?
everybody else was way lower than the Cowboys and Dolphins. By the way, go ahead.
Shake, was Tua resigned yet?
Yeah, that's
yet.
why we're having the show. We're
This is the midnight burning oil that we're gonna, because Tua's signing at 12:01 Hawaii time
on July 4th.
Yes, 12:01 Hawaii time.
Just checking in, man. I've been told so many times that I'm gonna, be crying when Tua signs and resets the quarterback market out. Just calling to check in on if that had been done yet.
About another 4 hours, KP.
By the way, is that Tua wearing the number 3?
I think that is what's the name? Odell Beckham.
Oh, okay, that's not Tua. My bad.
We'll be inking it in, KP, in Hawaii time. We'll get you on for a press conference, and we'll make sure we'll have it signed in pineapples.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he's gonna sign he's gonna sign a $50 million contract.
I like pineapples, KP. What are you talking about? That's my favorite fruit.
Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. If it was a matter of just, hey, everybody knows the deal's getting done, it just has to be signed, and we're just arbitrarily picking a day to do it. Why wouldn't we have done it during Polynesian and Asian American month, and made it?
Yeah, that would have been a perfect time. I think Miss Benz was there, wasn't she? I think Miss Benz was at the festivities, wasn't she?
Yeah, I actually predicted that it would happen in June because of that, but it never did.
Yeah, I said May the 2nd, so I know I'm way off.
I'm saying that $1 billion organization would use that as pomp and circumstance and make a big spectacle out of it if the deal was for sure getting done, no matter what.
Yeah, I admit, I actually said May the 1st. I said it would be May Day because May 1st is May Day, and it was going to be like May Day for everybody in the community. So it was going to be all on high alert. So I bombed that prediction. It wasn't May Day at all.
I just know that corporations like that base everything they do.
I was totally wrong. I'm like 90 days. What am I? 90 days in or 61 days in? I'm screwed. 62 days in. I can't. I got some catching up to do, KP.
In fairness, it would have been a good opportunity to show off to the young generation. Yo, this is the heights you can attain no matter who you are. You know what I mean? They would have done something like that if the deal was like guaranteed to get done.
By the way, guys, we're gonna be we launched out a new T-shirt. I'm gonna be buying a couple of them, man, and
there we go. That's our new shirt, fellas. Pick up your order.
God, we don't get sued. Actually, getting sued would probably be the best thing for us.
That's the best video game that's ever been made, behind Street Fighter 3. We're gonna be all rocking and rolling the Miami Vice gear. T.F.T.G.
They should put that on the helmet. Dolphins should put that on the helmet.
Right? Yeah, Craig's right. There was just as much hype for Lamar going to Atlanta than us. It was a sure thing he was leaving Baltimore.
Shit.
So
it was.
And listen,
but he did also play on his 5th year. So there you go.
He played
Craig.
that final year. Yeah, he played on that final year. He said rather than have
he gave them 7 complete games that year, but whatever.
So he said Tua pisses me off. I'd rather have Rosenfels at quarterback again than to deal with Tua and the Tua sexuals. My goodness, Black Sheep. That's a
Black Sheep's like Black Sheep would rather have Gus Frerotte than Tua. Now that's going a little far.
Wow. Goodness, Sage Rosenfels.
Damn.
Hey, what do you guys think about this Tyreek situation going on? How does that factor into
He'll be out of the league in 15 months.
Well, what a better day to have them kind of fireworks than on the 4th of July, right?
Q, what are you referring to? Are you referring to his demand for a new contract or the allegation?
No, his new contract. I don't give him no shits about the allegations. I'm talking about the contract.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. It's an interesting play to. I mean, is it Tyreek being flippant and just loose at the lips with just
I
thinking out loud, or is it part of
think he
him and
is.
Rosenhaus's plan to stir the Dolphins into action? I don't know.
I
I think
watched.
it's just
I
trying
watched
to bamboozle us,
Omar.
KP, yet again.
Omar's show today with what's his name?
I think he's going to
What's the beat
bamboozle us.
writer? What's Barry
Hey, you
Jackson?
talking about with Barry Jackson?
Barry Jackson, man, they had a
Oh,
really
okay.
good show today, bro. They had a really good show today, and I agree with them. I think Tyreek is just trying to get ahead of things. He looked at what who was the wide receiver that got paid?
Justin Jefferson.
Was it Justin Jefferson? Yeah.
Justin
So he
Jefferson,
looked at that situation. He was like, man, I'm gonna get ahead of this. I know I got my contract. Yeah, I just want to get ahead of it.
Yeah, I gotta get on
think
the ball.
it's
I gotta
interesting.
crunch the wide receiver numbers for this year to compare to last year, because it's very possible that Tyreek could have jumped from the second spot to the first spot, on my methodology. You know what I mean? I haven't finished yet, but it's
Well, if
the
that happens,
conversation is
Color,
ramping up now, so I got to get on the ball and get it done.
it'd be interesting to compare the guys who support the Tua has the numbers, therefore he deserves top pay, versus we don't need to pay Tyreek. When you could look at Tyreek's numbers, he's got the top numbers in the league. I mean, 119 receptions in each of the last 2 years, 1,700 yards plus in each of the last 2 years. Last year, 13 touchdowns. So I mean,
He got an argument too to start chasing being a rat race too, right?
Yeah, he has a strong case to be the top paid wide receiver in the league right now. The only thing going against that would be his age and his
Eventually, the owners will put their
shady.
foot down.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder how many people who are using that argument to say Tua must get paid who would be on the side of saying Tyreek must get paid too, since it's just a numbers evaluation. Like some of us want us to believe.
I mean, forget the fans. Let's talk about the players, because
Right.
when you get the players involved, that's going to be a whole lot. It's a different situation, because for the longest you've been hearing Armstead and Tyreek say, "Pay Tua, pay Tua." He's that dude. He's that dude in the locker room, and you're going to see the locker room fall in the same situation. They're going to have to choose sides. Like either you support
I think
Tua,
that's a bit overstated, Q. I think there's some, there's Democrats right now who are saying Biden is the greatest commander in chief of all time, when he's probably gonna, step down on Friday. So you know what I'm saying? Those public professions from players about, their check comes first.
Players,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's looking at how Miami Dolphins handle Tua's contract, because you got some players here that you're going to need to pay next year, and then if they look at you and how you handle Tua's contract, and they don't like the way you handle that, they're gonna be like, man, how you gonna handle my contract?
But this is the same team where players have said this guy's wasting their career. So I mean, we can pick and choose what kind of statements we want, where we want to support.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that's alleged. Nobody came out and said I said that. It was just some rumors somebody said out there. Maybe it's
the
true.
Players
Maybe
are gonna
it's
still
not.
have to play for their own contract.
At the same time,
somebody else get paid.
Armstead paid Tua. He's on the way out the door, so he doesn't give a shit what happens in the next 5 years.
That's true. And isn't Trent Sherfield saying, wasn't he chirping some stuff a little while ago about playing with Tua or playing with a better quarterback in Buffalo? So, I mean, when you're outside the organization, you probably are freer to comment, than you are when you're still inside, But
who knows?
I'm curious. I want to put my I want to put my QB ranking
for instance,
out there.
One of the best analogies I could say is everybody will say, yeah, we should adopt more kids in this adoption. But when it comes to, would you actually? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to say, yeah, pay him, but does he really mean it?
Right.
For the record, Montana has won a championship without Rice. So this notion that Montana hasn't won without Rice, that debate fall on deaf ears because he has won a title without Rice. Checkmate.
Which one?
People were making that argument.
The first one.
Were people actually making that argument somewhere on crypto
Yeah.
that Rice made Montana?
Yeah.
Or that? Sorry, that. Wow. Revisionist
He
history.
won his first one without him.
Yeah. Yeah, because he has Jerry Rice has 4 Super Bowls, right?
3. I think it's just 3.
It's like the idea that Marino isn't crap because he didn't win a Super Bowl, right? Or using the argument. What's the argument I love is the one where they say, yeah, what has Lamar done? Lamar Jackson hasn't won anything relative to signing Tua.
Yeah, so
And
he
that's
has 3.
another
So he
thing
has
that's gonna happen with
89,
CJ Stroud.
90, and 95. Yeah, so Jerry Rice, so Joe Montana has 4 Super Bowls, and 2 of them are with Jerry Rice.
Right. So he can't say Jerry Rice made Montana. So they be trying to use that argument. Oh, he needed Jerry Rice. No, he didn't. they kill them when they go so hard to paint on an argument and they realize they paint themselves in the corner.
Yeah.
Montana didn't need Rice. I know it hurts them so bad, it hurts their argument because they try to
my snake needed Rice today.
they try to use Tua in the same vein as Brady and Montana, so they can use the argument to say everybody needs weapons, but there's levels to this. Some quarterbacks can win with Deion Branch at wide receiver, and some quarterbacks need freaking Randy Moss. And that's let me tell you which one that Brady won with Deion. Which Super Bowl Brady won with Deion Branch, and which Super Bowl he didn't win with Randy Moss.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's levels to this.
And by the way, did Randy Moss ever win a Super Bowl?
Nope.
Oh well, he can't be one of the greatest wide receivers of all time.
Crypto.
He was a nobody.
Yeah.
Him and Devon Bess are on the same level.
Crypto, the first 49ers win with Montana in the Super Bowl, wasn't that with Dwight Clark?
Yeah, it was Clark. Yep.
That's what I thought.
The catch, the most infamous catch,
Yeah,
the
the
back
catch
of
in the back of the end zone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Against Cincinnati, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was that 82 or 83? One of them years.
It was 81.
81.
The one, the 80-81 Super Bowl or the 79 championship.
That was the year
79.
I was born. I didn't get to see it live. Yeah.
Oh, 81. That was your birth year or 70?
81.
81.
I was 6 and in Barbados, so I definitely didn't see it.
Right. I didn't either. I was just barely paying attention to football.
Yeah.
It was just a blip on the screen. I saw that aqua and orange flashing around. And I had to choose the Dolphins. That's what happened. Just a blip on the screen.
Yeah.
Early 80s, 81, 82 was the year I started paying attention.
Yeah. I had a vague understanding of it from my trips to the United States, but it wasn't until I moved here that I really started to pay attention.
Right. Then not until I was like in second, third grade is when I'm like, okay, let me watch Walter Payton a little bit. Let me watch the Dolphins. Let me watch the Packers.
Well, we got Monty Ball here. I remember traveling here in like 81, 82, and Tony Dorsett was the man back in them years, I think. I remember watching the game with Tony Dorsett tearing it up.
Dorsett was the man back then, yep. He was the big running back. Him, Dorsett, Payton, and freaking damn Brown, not Brown, but
Earl
Craig,
Campbell.
all them, Campbell, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The big bruising backs.
And then Walter Payton came in and
Dale Sayers, all the people who they used to idolize.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. But yeah, those quarterbacks back then, they was not the big athletic types, but they beat you with their mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
They knew how to read defenses. They pick apart the defense. You could come up with any kind of complicated defense, and by the second quarter, they would figure it out, and they would just next thing that's how they always had these come from behind wins.
And
They
another
would be
thing they knew how
down.
to do was protect
They would
themselves.
they would be trailing, right? That's
Mhm.
how they ended up. They got quarterbacks like Marino, Elway, and Montana has all these come from behind wins because they would start out trailing, and then next thing you know, they would pick apart that defensive coordinator. By the time the second and third quarter roll around, they will have that guy figured out, and then they couldn't stop him.
Right. Right.
It just take them a quarter or two to figure out what the defenses was being thrown at them at.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And how to
And by the
attack it.
way, Jerry Rice, at the time of his retirement, I'm just looking this up. He had 38 NFL career records at the time of his retirement.
38 at the time he retired as a Raider or a Seahawk. What was it, a Raider? What was his last team? Raider or Seahawk?
I think it was Raiders. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yo, you know what's crazy? Jalen Waddle. I just was crunching a number real quick just to see some things. Jalen Waddle had the same was the same rank, 27th in number of receptions last year that he was in 2022. Exact same rank, 27th.
Even
There's a
before
lot of
he-
receivers got hurt, but how they ended up with the same rank when a lot of receivers got hurt? He should have been higher than that.
Well, he's actually ranked 37th in number of receptions, but that's counting tight ends and running backs. So if you eliminate tight ends and running backs, he's 27th number of receptions this year, and that's exactly the same.
Not counting running back. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, the tight ends. Okay, some tight ends got more than him.
Yeah, he had
what number?
75. He had 75 receptions in 2022, 72 last year. But that both years is good for 27th ranked in that category.
So how many did Kelsey have? How many tight ends was ahead of him?
10, because he was 37th. So 10 tight ends and running backs. So most of them were tight ends. There was a couple running backs.
Right, that's what I say. Laporta probably was one of them. I know Kelsey was one.
I can tell you all of who they were. Cole Kmet, Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Dalton Kincaid, Alvin Kamara, Breece Hall.
Oh shit, Breece Hall.
David Njoku, Trey McBride, Sam Laporta, Travis Kelce, T.J. Hawkinson, Evan Ingram, and Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram had the fourth number of fourth most number of receptions last year in the league.
Yeah, Jacksonville definitely used him as a weapon.
Got real good tight end. Ingram's good for them. That's a quiet.
Wow. He's basically a big wide receiver. That's how they use him.
So number of receptions, you got CeeDee Lamb coming in number 1 at 135. Tyreek Hill is tied.
He's getting the bag.
Tyreek Hill is tied at number 2 with Amon-Ra St. Brown at 119.
Wow, Amon-Ra caught him.
And Evan Ingram had 114. Michael Pittman Jr. had 109. Keenan Allen with 108. Stephon Diggs 107. A.J. Brown 106. Puka Nacua 105. And rounding out the top 10, Devontae Adams with 103, tied with Adam Thielen for that spot.
Good. Devontae Adams is still balling out, even with a bad quarterback.
Jamar Chase was on the bubble at 11th.
Actually, I need to correct Crypto with his comment. Even with a bad quarterback, Devontae Adams is still balling out with no quarterback because Raiders don't have
right.
So
that ought to tell you that.
Talk about right. You talk about a wide receiver helping his quarterback. There's another example where it's possible because that guy Aiden O'Connell, he's just chucking it up to Devontae.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, well, that was an example also where if Aiden O'Connell was to get high in his rankings, it wouldn't be because of his receivers, because the receivers are not pulling them up far enough.
Only if he had a second one like Waddle.
Yeah, if he had a second one, right, then he'll be able to get his total overall numbers would be high enough. Yep, to rank higher. Right, because freaking Adams is getting that many.
The bag.
That's what I'm saying. That don't the Raiders got a case to give him the bag now?
They're giving him the bag to sit down on that bench.
I think everyone's sleeping on Minshew, though. I think Minshew ends up being the starting quarterback when it's all said and done, to be honest.
So, Crypto, it is officially, real quick, it is officially 4th of July on your side of the town.
Yeah, in my kind of town, Chicago is.
Yes. So, in the spirit of 4th of July, we'll be right back after this quick break.
What's up, y'all? This is Chef Jew. Looking for a great chef for your next catering party, private party, office party, etc. with welcome watering meals and desserts? Let Chef Jew Catering and Sweet Treats take care of it for you at an affordable price. Call me at 786-804-8096. Also reach me at chefjewcatering@gmail.com. Direct message on Facebook and Instagram at Chef Jew's Catering. Chef Jew's Catering and Sweet Treats. Food with a passion. We do it all.
Way to go, Chef Jew. Way to go.
Hell yeah.
That's a good one. Make sure when y'all at the tailgate, make sure you stop by Chef Jew's booth so you can pick up a nice, tasty, moist, mouth-watering dessert. Cupcake. Real nice and tasty.
Wow, I'm just so again, my qualifier on the wide receivers is going to be 65 receptions, I believe it was last year too.
They need 65 to get in.
The receiver that the first receiver that has over 65 receptions, he has 72. That has the highest completion rate last year. Believe it or not, Rashee Rice, 77.5%. That's number one for receivers with over 65 receptions. He had 79 receptions, just to correct earlier.
Yeah, 79.
Wow. The next wide receiver is Adam Thielen with 103 receptions at 75.2%. So he's got some hands. And then CD Lamb is number 3 at 74.6.
That's pretty good. That's why he's asking for the bag.
Nico Collins is fourth at 73.4.
Good hand. Wow. 73, not dropping them. Well, at least the ones that's thrown to him, everybody else might be dropping them.
Fifth is Amon-Ra St. Brown at 72.6. Devonta Smith, 72.3. Keenan Allen, 72.
He's not number one. He's normally got the best hands.
7.
Devontae's got 72.
8. Hold on, Crypto. 9th.
You know, I was thinking about this, Crypto, going back to Devontae Adams. Everyone likes to point out that Tyreek said that Tua is such a great, is a much better quarterback than Mahomes and everything like that. I vaguely remember that Devontae Adams had similar praises for his quarterback that he was going to when he joined the Raiders. If memory serves me right. Because they were like, "Oh yeah,
Carr is just as talented as Aaron Rodgers."
Aaron Rodgers, same verbiage, but we don't go after Devontae Adams for saying the same shit. You know what I mean? So I kind of think it's kind of hypocritical. Just gonna point that out there.
They played together.
Wait, say that again. As far as saying that Devontae Adams was what?
They played in college together. Devontae Adams and Derek Carr played in college together.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they was in the same school. They were talking about.
All I'm saying is the notion that when a player joins a new team, all I'm saying is that I think it's kind of obvious they're going to have praises for whatever quarterback or whatever is the star player on that team at the time that they're joining. They're going to say great things. They're not going to see anything negative stated. So when people want to point that out, that Tyreek said certain things about Tua, well, it's not like we haven't seen it before. We've seen it with Devontae Adams and other players alike. We just don't point it out as much. That's what I was trying to get at.
You
You're
saying
not going to believe this. Tyreek Hill also had the same rank in receptions. Number 2. Here's the thing about him. 119 receptions. Identical to last year.
Okay, so he was based on par. So why is people complaining about him dropping the football?
Yep. His yards were better and his touchdowns were better too.
He's been consistent.
Yeah, I'm kind of doing a spot
hold on,
check on
Fred.
Tyreek
Hold
Hill.
on. Segment, then we can talk.
So why are they complaining about him dropping footballs when he's been consistent? He's
That's a deflex from Tua. You know why? From Tua. You know why?
You know why?
What's up, Fred?
What's up, Fred?
Hey, what's up? Hey, Ali, man, didn't Terrell Owens kind of throw Donovan McNabb under the bus, bro?
He did.
Yeah.
Well, that's about the only time I've ever heard of, a quarterback.
Yeah, what he said about Tony Romo, man. Remember what he said about Tony Romo? That's my quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
But he was giving Romo praise though when he did that though, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna.
Terrell Owens' mouth cost him like 4 years of getting into the Hall of Fame, and almost prevented him from going into the Hall of Fame alone, just on his mouth alone.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You want to know what's crazy about that? Today, Terrell Owens can still ball. I think he can still ball today.
I think Ocho can too.
No, Ali. No, man.
No. You don't understand. Terrell Owens still plays football today.
He still works out.
But that guy can still ball out.
If you ask those guys to run one route, right, and get open, they probably could. But for a whole game, nah. You know what I'm saying?
The guy's gonna play in and out. All I'm saying is,
you little face, KP.
Have you seen the videos, dude? Look at the videos, dude. The guy
you little face.
He's a tight end. He's a tight end
every time.
Terrell's a tight end now, bro. He's literally a tight end now, bro.
I'm not gonna buy that, dude.
Yeah, right.
I think they could still get open in the NFL and catch a pass today.
We already got the anti-Tua
week after week.
You in the chat room. You fulfilling your role in the chat is more than enough to have the anti-Tua clan together. There you go.
Hey, hold on, is Q part of the anti-Tua crew?
Yes.
Or Ab is definitely on the defense.
Happy 4th of July to everybody, man. I gotta get out of here. Y'all be good.
Be safe out there on them waters, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Be safe, man.
So, Q, Crypto, you have your another co-host up here. What's going on, Fred? Part of the Pete's Takes film breakdown crew.
What's up, Shake, man? Thanks for having me to the show, bro. How's everybody doing this evening?
Fred, what's up, man?
Well,
what's up, KP?
Hey, man, what you call Crypto told me when he said when you see Fred, you put him in front of the line. That's what he told me.
Yeah. Me and
hey, man, what's the show about? Shape mainly, bro. What's your main topic, bro?
Man, listen. Here's the topic.
Now that we got more people, Fred.
I have a off topic question for you. If you could move the 4th of July, what day would you celebrate? In your opinion, would be a good day to celebrate Independence Day besides 4th of July?
Juneteenth, bro. That's the day I be celebrating, bro. So Juneteenth as Independence Day, bro. I would replace Independence Day with Juneteenth. That's what Independence Day should be, Juneteenth.
Yeah, that's what Crypto said.
Yeah. Go away, Crypto. Hey, Shake. Hey, Shake. So, since it's about anything, man, we just doing anything, you know. I've been thinking about, man, like, um, could Tua survive without Tyreek, bro? Can he?
I mean, he did pretty good in 2000. He went 10-6 in 2021. Didn't know he wasn't 21. He went 9-8. You know, without Tyreek Hill.
9-8 will be the full season. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he went 9-8 with Tyreek Hill the next year. So
right. So there you go.
As a matter of fact, he has a better. Yeah, you know, he has a better winning record in December under Flores than he does under McDaniel.
Right.
But then again, he has a better record in September under McDaniels than he has under Flores. So
it's the opposite. Mm-hmm. So the jury. So I got to say the jury's still out on the Tyreek. You know, the verdict is not in yet. So.
Yeah. I agree with that. The jury's still out.
But are we willing to test that jury so soon in this process? That's the key.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you polled 95% of all Dolphin fans, I think everybody was pretty much set on the idea that Tua will play in his fifth year, right? And that this fifth year will determine, you know, where he's going to go with his career as a quarterback, right? But these contract talks have just thrown that whole question into a tizzy, because now we're facing the possibility of him, getting traded perhaps, or holding out, and all these things have been entered into it. So it's, it's really kind of interesting where we are now compared to where we were, let's say, a month or two ago, when it came to this whole idea of Tua being the quarterback.
It's really interesting, like, how much of a dangerous game both parties are playing, but I'm going to point this on Tua at this point because he's the main person that's really being judged at this point. It is very interesting how willing he is to, like, playing this dangerous game, because if you think about it, there's not a lot of teams in this league that say let's say, has a Waddle and a Tyreek on this team, right? On their team, right? There's only very few teams. The Eagles have two guys that you can compare. Yeah. Outside of Devontae Adams, I don't really think the Raiders have another guy that you could say is like Waddle, right?
Right.
And you look at
it would have been had his not start racing his vehicle in the middle of the street, it would have been two of them. It would have been Henry Ruggs.
That's true. So the big question at hand is, do we think Tua really can perform at a very high level in a completely different built roster than this? You understand what I'm saying? Without the speed that you get from Waddle and Tyreek and the speed that we have of this running game, can Tua perform under that? That is a really big question. That's a question for him because we haven't seen it. And is he really going to be traded to a new team? They pay him all the money only to be a bust? You know, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that is
very unlikely.
Playing. You know what I mean?
Hey, Ali, that's a great question, bro. Because I get in my head that
offense.
I get in my head, Ali, man, when you ask that, bro, like, if you don't have Waddle and Tyreek, of course, the quickness and the speed ain't there. So therefore, man, you okay. So now you're going to do it with slightly slower wide receivers, which I think Tua wouldn't have no chance but to hold that ball an extra second, man, and really zone in, man, when this guy is becoming open. Ali, you feel what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, I definitely. And Fred, to just not really, I'm not really saying that the guy can't do it. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm just
we're not saying. I'm not saying he can't do it, but it would be a big change.
Yeah, I mean,
in his game, bro. That's a big change for Tua, bro.
Here's the other part of it, though. The other part is, let's say he does what certain players out there, former players, are saying that he should hold out. Let's say he holds out, right? And we still don't pay him, and he ends up moving on. What gives any sense to any other team? Why should they really fork out the money if Miami wasn't willing to? You know what I mean? So let's say we go through this whole song and dance. We still don't want to give him the money. Okay, you want to be a free agent? Go ahead. Bye. See you. We're going to move on. Now everybody's like, well, Miami didn't want to pay him. Why? They're going to have bigger questions. You know what I mean? The guy hold out. He didn't really perform. You know what I mean? Why should we pay him $200, $300, $400 million? It just doesn't make sense. So that's why I think that it's a dangerous game. And the only way he can really come out on top and have real control, he has to play. He can't hold out. And he has to put out the best season ever, to be honest.
Well, the rumor is that he's there. I guess they're running this up a flagpole, which is an upside down flag that they're running up that pole, but that's neither here nor there. They're trying to say that they're trying to say that he's freaking they're trying to say he's being pressured to hold out because of he don't want to injure himself without a contract. Now they're trying to run that up a flagpole.
What's interesting about your two comments is that you're arguing against the idea that he has the leverage, which is, become a talking point for the last 2 weeks, right? Who has the leverage, the Finns or Tua? Basically, both of you have made the case that, Tua's so-called leverage is not as strong.
That's why they're trying to double back to the argument of the injury as being the holdup. Oh, if he holds out, it's protecting himself now because he don't want to go injure himself.
Personally,
that's the new trial.
I don't think that's it.
That tells me he doesn't have the leverage, bro.
I don't think
he had. I'm sorry, Fred. Hold on. Let me just land on this real quick. And I don't like talking over people, so I'm sorry. Any leverage that he might have had, to be honest, was really caused by false pretenses that either the media or the sycophancy pure Tuaneers put out there under social media. Really? That's the only thing that really gave him any kind of leverage because he had so much hype. And I don't really think that any player that's demanding that kind of money can just win off of leverage that's built off of hype and not reality. You know what I mean? I don't think
he actually lost his leverage with the performance against KC and towards the end of the season there. If we had the same results, but he had stronger personal achievements in those games, then he would be entering into these contract talks with a lot more gravitas, with a lot more leverage.
I really think Greer's got the Tennessee tape on speed dial. It's like he's playing in the endless loop on the negotiation table, and that's what he's working with. He just hit the play in the Tennessee game, and then that's all he's watching. That's what Greer's watching.
I tell you what, I appreciate Tua holding out because if it wasn't for Tua not holding out, we wouldn't have anything to talk about. So thank you, Tua.
Wow. You gotta look, man. Crypto. You said
it's all about ratings, right? The ratings. That sometimes that's what it's about, I guess.
So you want something else to talk about? I don't know if Miami is going to have the money he wants now. Now that the NFL might have to pay all this money back because of the whole DirecTV and Sunday ticket shit. And the reason that is because
the owners got that money, Ali. That's a myth.
Crypto, hold on. The reason I say that is because you know how the cap goes up every year by $20-30 million? That $20 or $30 million may not be there to go up next year if they have to pay all that money out.
Ali, that case not going to settle until like 2029. They're going to appeal, then they're going to appeal. Then it's going to be a whole lot of appeals to that case. You're not going to see that until like 2029.
That's good. That's a good point. But let's say they have to eventually pay it out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You might have a point there. I see what you're saying.
Hey, you know what, man? I think, man, I think he thinks, man, like he wants his money now because, to him, I think the Dolphins will be asking, people be asking too much, man. Not only just stay healthy, not get hurt, but he's also got to have a great performance. He's got to maybe win the division, maybe a playoff game. So there's a lot of things going against him, man, for them to, to feel like, that's what he needs to do to to get that money, man. It's a lot of things going on. More things going against them.
You guys are ready for Skyler and Mike White to start the season?
You guys have to remember, Daniel Jones got paid just by throwing 15 touchdowns.
Right.
Yeah.
And 4 interceptions, though. You got to remember that.
But it was 15 touchdowns and the Manning brothers endorsement. So
it was 15. No, all I'm saying is take into account how many touchdowns Tua got in total over his career, and Daniel Jones got paid those 1 year. He got some leverage.
yeah.
I don't think
Daniel Jones didn't have leverage when he had it, so it didn't matter. So we're not basing off Daniel Jones's leverage.
No, Daniel Jones had leverage because if they didn't pay him, he was hitting free agents.
That's good. Then they have a new quarterback, and they still would have won the same amount of games they won the following year.
Listen, if Tua doesn't sign, you're probably going to see Garoppolo or Tannehill up in here. It won't be
signed for next to nothing with the Rams. He's easily tradable.
Right.
You could also trade, and I know people don't want to hear this, but you could trade for the guy that just recently went to the Steelers from the Bears. You could go after him.
Justin Fields.
And here's another name. Even though he's they're supposedly trying to make it a long-term thing, Russell Wilson is only on a 1-year deal with the Steelers as well.
Both those guys are tradable. Whoever wins, the other guy is going to be a piece.
Yeah, and let alone there's a lot of quarterbacks that are coming in this draft that I'm kind of interested in. So there's those guys.
Before you mention them, Ali, I just want to add one more name in there. Even Kirk Cousins' name has been bandied about as a guy Atlanta may want to let loose.
That is a very good.
If he gets in trouble,
I agree with that one.
They're not trading. He just paid that man $200.
I have no idea if they would or not, but his name has come up a couple times in some recent reports.
Release because
it has, man.
He does 4-year deals. He doesn't break any team's bank. Why nobody use his model? He came in the league and he's just as accomplished passing as anybody else. Nobody uses his model.
Well, sorry, Ali, I interrupted you, Ali. Sorry about that. You were talking about the college guys you were looking at.
Oh yeah, so I was just saying that there's quite a few college players that are coming this year's draft. I mean, everyone's going to look at Shedeur Sanders, which I'm not really the biggest believer in him, but he's a guy.
4 years.
You got Carson Beck from Georgia. He's I'm kind of interested in. There's Cam Ward from the Hurricanes. There's a guy from Ohio State named Will Howard that I really like. There's some names. Even if you want to have one duck year and then wait for the year after that, there's going to be some real big names in the next 2 quarterback cycles of drafts. So all I'm saying is it's not like we have to wait too long or another 30 years for us to draft somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Right, we don't. It's a 1-year turnaround. It's a 1-off season turnaround. That's why though. People pull their hair out over if that's the only position we have to replace, then that's the only one we got to replace.
Oh, you know what, fellas, man? Like, I'm man. I've been watching the Dolphins a long time. I'm getting tired, man, of the pocket quarterback, bro. You know what I'm saying? This organization, I feel, needs to change it up, get excitement at the position, bro. Some dual threat at the position, man. Where teams fear our quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They got a really game plan against this guy. You're worrying about him taking off and running. I need a dual threat guy, man. The boxing stuff.
If they could teach Justin Fields to throw, he would be a perfect fit for that.
Exactly, Ali, man. Exactly, Ali. Exactly, bro.
Teach him how to throw, because if you remember when we played the Bears, Justin Fields was tearing us up in that short run.
He ate us up, Ali. He had us for lunch, bro. He had us for lunch, man.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I think that's why a lot of the Tua-neers don't like him, because he really played good in that one game that it just so happened to be, and they always go at him hard at pain.
He can throw the football. He's not Dan Marino, but he can throw pretty good. I mean, look at the fade route he threw to commit for a touchdown in the corner.
Yeah, I think he has the arm. He just doesn't have
got to do.
just needs
He
to
just got if
figure
he
it
does
out.
it consistently. If he had an actual offensive coordinator, he'd be fine.
He
That's why I
actually,
say he's gonna
because
be
his
fine in
arm is
Pittsburgh.
strong, he actually does really well at the fadeaway throws, like falling backward throws. You know what I mean?
Also, that
Yeah,
They threw a
strong
bunch of
arm
them to
too.
commit.
Listen,
Daniel's
he's
asking
no
too.
different. He's no different than a young John Elway who needed to tone down his decision making. Is what really hurts him. He
That's it. Yeah,
relies on his running, like when he doesn't let the
and
pass
that
plays
comes with great
develop.
coaching, KP.
Yeah, exactly. Decision making and when to sit in that pocket and when to run. That's a young quarterback. He
Well,
needs to develop
apparently,
like most young quarterbacks.
apparently
So.
McDaniel's
And by
not
the
a
way,
good enough coach to create a system for a guy like that. He's handicapped. McDaniel can never make a system for a guy like
Right,
that.
by the way,
because Tua is one of 5 quarterbacks who can operate the system, right?
by the way,
Yeah,
quarterback.
I like the way they
quarterback
shit on
who could fit
McDaniel,
that.
boy. It be tripping me out how they be low key shitting on McDaniel when they just say only one guy can run his system.
I know, bro. How do you think McDaniel
It's amazing
feels
how
about that?
they don't realize they
And
truly
then
shit
run
on
the system
McDaniel when they
where?
say that.
I can only
And
make
run
a
the
good
system,
system for Tua. You know what I
and a
mean?
system good enough to get out in the first round of the playoffs. I mean,
Right.
where has the
Hey,
system taken us?
hey, by the way, Anthony Richardson has a good chance of becoming that dual threat too. He has a cannon for an arm.
Yeah.
Right. Anthony Richardson actually do, yeah.
So
He
KP,
started to play good before he got hurt, though. Shake.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about him is
Before he got hurt, he was playing good.
He doesn't have an accuracy issue. He has a touch issue.
Exactly, he's a touch issue, right? He
So when I
just
say
needed home.
Elway, you can put Randall Cunningham in that box. You know, these were
A guy like
another guy.
McVay and the Shanahans of the world and the McDaniels of the world. Who knows?
So
What's up,
KP,
Colin?
I went ahead and I haven't it's the first one I started, but I just factored Tyreek's 2023 numbers based on my methodology from last year. The 8 for the wide receivers, I used 8 categories for that I thought were for kind of speak to production. People can argue with me about those 8 categories all they want, but now we've got somewhat of a fair look at comparing last year to this year using the same methodology.
I wonder what DJ Moore called that.
So this is where it becomes sort of valid. So last year, Justin Jefferson ended up being number 1 with an average ranking of 4.63. Tyreek Hill came in number 2 on my list with an average ranking of 5.38. Stephon Diggs number 3 with a 6. CeeDee Lamb number 4 at 9.13, just for example, right?
CD was
So
good.
I just factored Tyreek's numbers for this year, just based on the same categories. He's the only receiver I've done so far. Keeping in mind that he had a 5.38 average ranking last year, Justin Jefferson with a 4.63. This year for 2023, Tyreek Hill's average ranking is going to be a 4.88.
So he moved up slightly from the previous
year. So he moved up, but we just don't know how far Justin Jefferson fell or if any of the other guys.
Well, he probably won't qualify because he didn't play half the season.
I can tell you this. Last year, in the 8 categories, he was 2nd, 12th, 2nd, 9th, 12th, 2nd, 5th, and 2nd. This year, he was 12th, 2nd, 1st, 18th, 1st, 3rd, and 1st. So I'm pretty sure he's taking that top spot this year from Justin Jefferson and any other contenders. It's likely
he should.
Tyreek
He was
Hill
second
to
if
be
the
the
first
number
place.
1 receiver in production last year, according to my methodology.
Well, Cully, he should be because the guy that was ahead of him last year didn't participate in half the season.
Well, yeah, but even any other up and comers, they're going to have to top what was that? How many did I count? 1, 2, 3, 4 number 1 rankings. when he only had one.
Right, they would have to do they would have to basically perform like Justin Jefferson's numbers.
Right, last year he only had one number one ranking, and the rest were 2s and 12s.
Number Jefferson is the next Parker.
Would have had to basically be like Justin Jefferson to remove Tyreek from being number one.
Right. And based on the name that I'm seeing and some of the stats that are popping up when I'm sorting, the only one that's probably got a chance is either Amon-Ra St. Brown or CeeDee Lamb, to be honest with you. And I don't know how they're going to fall. But last year they were 4th and 6th, respectively, overall in production.
Jefferson is the next Parker.
Okay.
Hey, Crypto, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up, KP?
Since you're in Chicago, have you had a chance to listen in or read any of the sports reporting on that new quarterback that they got over there, the young guy from USC?
And
no, I haven't gotten to get with the Caleb Williams yet. Nah.
Okay, I wonder what the hype is like in Chicago.
I mean, the last reports I heard of him, but that's when I wasn't here. They were saying they pretty like the kid and his progress. He's one of my dark horses to have. He will be the first bear to throw for 4,000 yards.
I bet you the fans are all for him, KP. All of them, bro.
I'm just wondering what the mini-camp reports were like.
Gets broken. This is the year that curse gets broken. The 4,000-yard curse for them gets broken this year.
Okay.
Yeah, they real high on them.
Crypto has Chicago as one of his worst teams. That'll surprise everybody, man, and may not go to the playoffs, but have a winning record. Aren't you, Crypto? Is that one of your worst teams, bro?
Yeah, one of my not worst to first, but worst to surprise. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I remember that. Yeah.
That the Bears division could actually be like the Ravens division was last year.
Yeah.
The Bears division might end up like the Ravens were last year. Everybody has a winning record.
Whoa.
Yeah. They're going to end up like the Ravens division.
Yeah, he's on my radar in terms of I want to see, just how he pans out being the number one overall pick. Highly touted. They're saying the most talented prospect since Mahomes, in a city where quarterbacks haven't fared well at all. Quarterbacks go to Chicago to die pretty much in terms of,
it's because their running back has always been the best in the league.
And the defense is always,
Right. Their defensive running game has always been the best. That's why they had no need for actual throwing quarterback, to be fair.
It get cold after September, so you can't throw in Chicago.
Right, they really had no real true need.
I seen Chicago over the years, man, have some pretty good quarterbacks over there, man. Vince Evans.
They've been okay, but they didn't have to throw the ball around the stadium for, as a way to win. Especially
if you get a guy with the arm of Jay Cutler, you don't want to have a passing game there because of the wind.
Yeah.
McMahon had a strong arm, but he just wasn't required to throw when you had
unless it's a short passing game like the West Coast, which is what the Bears happen to run.
Yeah, they was dominated by the monsters of the Midway. That defense, running game, and special teams. That was it.
McMahon had that moxie, bro. Everybody followed McMahon. The whole team followed McMahon, bro.
Right, exactly. That's why
I'd say McMahon's their best ever. Even if Cutler might have been more talented, McMahon was definitely the best quarterback they've ever had. Like, he's their guy. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
He's their best leader. He's their best leader they've ever had.
Hey, he's Super Bowl champion as well. Super Bowl champ, right? I mean,
he was on that team. He was on that roster. Yeah, he was with them.
He was in the rap video. He was in the rap video.
Hey, Color, do you remember what happened to him, man? That ended his career, bro. Basically, bro.
What was that, Fred? Repeat that. Yeah.
I even remember the lyrics to that damn Super Bowl Shuffle song.
You guys see how Cutler's career almost, I'm gonna say, got was ended, bro. But he did go on to play for Philadelphia. But after this move, what happened to him in Chicago, bro? You know, it pretty much messed McMahon up, man, with throwing the football after that. And it was a game against Green Bay. You know, of course, McMahon always was beating Green Bay. And McMahon threw a pass and it was completed. So he's jotting down, you know, to go to the next play. He's jotting down Phil, and the defensive tackle from Green Bay just literally, man, just grabs him, slams him on his shoulder.
Yeah, he was standing in the pocket. I remember that play. He picked him up and body slammed him on his shoulder. His shoulder.
Way after the play.
No, that wasn't White. That was another.
No,
as a matter
of fact, his name was
that was somebody
tackle.
else that did it.
Yeah,
but it's the tackle that grabbed. He just stood there and he just picked
Martin.
him up and slammed him.
Some guy named Martin. Named Martin.
And slammed him right into the freaking ground.
Martin,
His name was Tua-T's.
Broke his shoulder into all kinds of pieces, man.
Hey, color, man. I would tell you what happened.
That was one of the dirtiest plays in sports, man.
Hey, color. It was more than that, bro. You know, it was two of these nuts, right? So yeah, I went up on Miss Finn's show with that, and so she was like, "Hold on, Fred, let me do something." So she cut off my nuts, bro. And I was like, "All right, cool." I mean, you know, it probably didn't sound appropriate, but yeah, Miss Finn's cut off my nuts, bro.
Man.
She made you a eunuch, huh? You're a eunuch.
Well, KP, that was his nickname was the Punky QB.
Yeah, and wasn't it the Magic Man Don Majkowski who ended his fame? I mean, in Green Bay, I think he's a guy who turned it around for Green Bay.
Turned it around, before they went to the Favre era. Yeah, Majkowski.
Forgot about him.
Don Majkowski, the Magic
Man.
Yep.
That's right.
Don Majkowski. Yep. Before they got Favre in there. Yep.
Yep. Favre and Sterling Sharp.
He was a pretty decent quarterback, Majkowski.
I remember the first time Marino played Favre. It was blacked out up here. I had to listen to it on the radio.
Wow.
I hated those blackout games, man. That was a big rip-off, man.
I mean, you'd think a matchup like that, but this was before Brett Favre became Brett Favre. So there was no interest in anybody purchasing the extra tickets to lift the blackout.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But nowadays, some corporation, some network would buy the extra tickets to put that on TV. You know what I mean?
So DirecTV does it and charges us 1,000 times the value, which is why they're getting sued now.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, I gotta get this truck loaded.
All right, man.
All right, man. Be safe.
Hey,
Drive
worst of
safe
luck
out
for
there.
the Cowboys, man. Good luck and tidings to you and your family, bro. But worst of luck for your football team. Okay.
Keep believing in the accident waiting to happen.
Hey, QB. Hey, KP.
What's
I
up?
hope Tua sign tonight so I can hear you can play.
You a
We got about
that
3
is the
more hours
recipe.
to a signing. He's gonna
See, that
bring in the
sounded like more like a curse. Why would he be cursed? Why would it be a curse?
Yo, you know, in New York Jets sites, they are all rooting for Tua to get signed. That should tell us something. That should tell us something.
Why is Master work and why is freaking Dan Mitchell rooting for us to sign our quarterback?
Exactly.
I don't understand. Michael K, maybe you could come up here and explain to us why your favorite content creator wants
Tua.
us to sign a quarterback.
Michael K will tell you flat out, yeah, I want you to sign Tua.
Yeah.
And I just
Explain to us
started.
why Dan Mitchell want us to sign him, Michael K.
Hey, shit, I'm gonna put that out too, bro.
I just like the booger on my wife beater.
Michael K will probably come up with some excuse of saying that we need Tua to be re-signed so Miami can start beating the shit out of the Buffalo and we can move off of Josh Allen. That's he'll probably say something like that.
And Pete, of course we have Tua in here. You're one of them. You're the one that called for him to sign his contract. You said it'd be the best thing. So I mean, I can clip the tweet you made. Tua in here.
That.
But see, I think the race is not for Tua to sign a contract, so they can stick a thumb in their eyes and say, "Well, see, he's the highest paid. That means the league look at him as the most viable." There you go. You heard it at first. I'm getting out in front of it. That's the angle that they're going at. He's paid. He's the highest paid. He's got all the money. That means every general manager values him as a top quarterback in this league.
Someday they'll learn, Crypto, that money doesn't make the quarterback. The quarterback makes the money.
Right, Ali. Exactly. They don't. Yeah, they're not looking at it that way.
Yeah, that's I want to go back to those days where quarterbacks have heart and actually play to, beyond what their contract tells them to. That's the one thing about sports that I'm starting to dislike. You know what I mean? Like you've seen it in the NBA, kind of like, and the NBA kind of made changes to the season, having like the in-season tournament and stuff like that. Kind of, I don't want to say force, but to entice some of the top tier players to play in games that they normally wouldn't want to play or take a night off. You think about it, people and families, spend all their hard work money to be able to visit a game. And imagine this, right? You're going to an NBA game and you're going to want to see LeBron play, and the best, or we'll use the Miami Heat, the best of the best play at Miami, right? And you're at the game and the top players are just they're not there for that. They're taking the night off. And you spend all the hundreds of dollars to go to the game for what? Right? I think I want to go back to those days where it didn't matter what game. You saw players like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant playing the entire season. You know what I mean? Same thing in the NFL. I want players to play for their money, not, have the money make the quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
went on a rant. I'm sorry.
Rants are good, man.
Tell us how you feel, Ali.
I think they get selective when they want to decide who's a part of set market.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't get Baker just recently got paid. Ertz got paid. Lamar just recently got paid because they don't think that those contracts is high enough. They instantly go to freaking Justin Herbert's and freaking what's his name? Not Baker Mayfield. They don't go to, and then they go to
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. Yeah, Jared Goff. Yeah, Jared Goff. They'll go to his and say, "Oh, he should be at least getting that, but yet he should get more than Trevor." But
the real question, and this is the question,
they're all over the place. I don't know whether they're coming or going when they come to the selectively deciding what quarterback is a part of the market. It's clear as day that Lamar just recently, 12 months haven't even passed and ink dried on his freaking contract, and they want to act like he's not included in the market.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's
what world are we living in? We get selective on who we decide who's going to be a part of the market.
And see,
12 months haven't even passed since he signed his deal, and we want to say he's not a part of it.
And here's the other part of it, Crypto. What makes you really think that Tua deserves anything that Jared Goff actually is getting? You think about Jared
even if
Goff
you add Jared, right?
Has won playoff games. He's been to one or two Super Bowls. You know what I mean? The guy was just in an NFC championship game, right?
Yeah.
He took the Detroit Lions. Let me repeat this because I've never thought I would hear this in my lifetime. The Detroit Lions in an NFC championship game. Detroit Lions. You know how long the Detroit Lions have been, in the gutter for so long? You know what I mean?
Yeah. He literally made them relevant.
A change instantly. Not even last year, the year before last year, where I made the bet that they were gonna, be something.
Be something, right? Yeah.
They were something, bro. They were the most scoring team in the NFL at that point.
At that point,
for the first 4 games. My point is that we want to sit there and say that he should at least get this money, but what has he done to show he even compares to that person? Yeah. What has he really done?
Yeah.
He may have had one year where he led everything. that's fine. But that's just one
It's
year.
not like Jared Goff never led in statistical categories neither. That he was number one in or top of the league or top, you know.
Well, who the hell do you think was only 50-some yards behind him in yardage this year?
I don't blame Chris Greer. I don't blame Chris Greer.
Yeah, right. He was only 50-something behind him in yardage, right?
So it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah. I don't blame Chris Greer for holding his ground. I want him to hold his ground because, to be honest, and I'm going to be very frank about it, I just don't want Miami to pay for a one-hit wonder. That's basically what
right. That's the snake bite that we want to be worried from.
So
get better and better. That's good. Now I need consistency of being at the top and continuously making the playoffs, but also I want playoff wins.
You don't want it to be snake bitten.
I'm trying to get to the next level.
And I don't even agree with the men for a one-hit wonder. It's one more hit and we may go under. I mean, where has the wonder come?
Okay, well,
I don't even have to look at the numbers to see the tandem comparison, Crypto, because does anybody know who Goff's wide receiver 2 is?
Goff's wide receiver number 2.
His actual receiver
was Laporta. It was out Brown and then Laporta.
Yeah, but even half the league probably couldn't name him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Laporta was the only one, right? But that was it.
Tua sitting here rocking 2 wide receivers in the top 10.
Wait. Didn't they have
Reynolds only putting up 40 more yards?
Yeah, Reynolds was the other day. Yeah.
Right. Right, Color, to that point, yeah. His actual number 2 as far as position wise is non-existent.
Right. It was Reynolds. His first name is Journeyman.
Reynolds, yeah.
Journeyman Reynolds is his name.
The guy, remember, Williamson from Alabama got hurt. He didn't even play most of the season.
Yet Goff
Jameson
only put up 49 less yards than Tua last year. And Tua's rocking 2 wide receivers in the top 10.
Yeah, 2 of them, a solid number, top 10 guys. Yeah,
with that Denver game that really blew up the stats.
We had an extra game, yeah. That's what I say. We played 2 games. We played 18 games.
4,600 yards sounds mediocre to me.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying at the end of the season. He actually, going off the pace,
you're not allowed to put that kind of context on the guy.
Was supposed to have thrown for 5,600 yards. He should have thrown for 1,000 more yards and 10 more touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was on track for like 6,000 yards at one point.
Yeah.
In fact, it was what the funny thing about that, KP, is that I think it was Lewis, and shout out to Lewis. Lewis made a bet in his space that if he had over like 6,000 some yards, I think it was
he would buy everybody tickets, right?
He was going to buy everybody's Super Bowl tickets.
He would buy everybody tickets. Yeah, we made that bet.
And at one point, Tua was actually on track for that. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's all you have to have is like a 400+ yard game in game 1, and that'll suffice. You know what I'm saying? That'll put you on track for an astronomical amount of yards.
Yeah.
That's all you need is one more like, oh, there you go. I told you to stop by, Pete. Damn,
and
Shake Money and Lewis gave me permission to be on your show, man.
And shout out
to saying earlier.
Real quick, shout out to Pete for the fireworks money donation of $5. Appreciate it. How is it possible that only 5 QBs can run this offense? That's the take of the month.
Yeah, it was. I was part of that debate. On Pete's channel very briefly, and it was outrageous, man. I mean,
I think they're running a trial balloon up there. That's another one of those upside down flags they're running up the pole again. It's a surrender flag. It's a distress flag. That's basically what they're doing when they say these things. When they say only 2 people can run this offense,
and they base it on Dan Orlovsky. I mean, Dan Orlovsky was their source of
distressing. Right. It's total distress
because of Orlovsky said so.
Right, and they crap on guys like Chris Sims. It's like, what did Orlovsky do more than Chris Sims? Chris Sims only left the league because he almost died.
And you got to remember his dad is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Right.
Yeah, his dad is Hall of Fame.
You don't think he's sitting there on the couch chopping it up with his dad about all this stuff?
I know, right? Because he wasn't successful in his personal career, they go to some third string or fifth string quarterback that sounds good analytically analyzing other quarterbacks, so they just gravitate to that.
Listen, shout out to Michael K. For bringing out. Listen, I like JT Sullivan's. I believe in what he says, but as far as him being a quarterback, he wasn't better than Chris Sims either.
Right.
No, he wasn't. No, I think Michael K put those numbers in the chat. I'm like, damn, he was that bad. He had like a 6 QBR or something like that. I'm like, wow, it was crazy. I'm like, man,
and Kurt Warner went to the CFL and had to have the greatest show on turf to win.
Right.
Yeah.
Talk about supporting cast.
It wasn't like he would have done it in St. Louis with the Cardinals that year.
Right.
It wasn't like they had a bad offense.
He had Torrey Holtz, Isaac Bruce, Oz Hakeem, Marshall Faulk coming out of
one of the best running backs in football.
Well, and I want you to think about this. When he was in Arizona, he had Antoine Bowden and freaking Larry Fitzgerald.
Right. Yeah.
Man, he had some freaking, and he had not Ricky. That's an older guy, Ricky Prohl. I'm trying to think of the other guy with the Cardinals.
I think Prohl was there with those guys.
Was he there at the time?
I believe he might have been. Yeah.
Early. Okay, because Ricky Prohl was an earlier version. Okay, maybe he was there.
Maybe he was. I don't know. I'd have to go look at the roster.
But he was a damn good wide receiver, Ricky Prohl. But yeah, I listen, man. This is how you know that some of their talking points is built on sand when they go so hard in the paint on it, and then they don't realize what they're doing. They're indirectly criticizing McDaniel, or just throwing all kinds of shade on him by saying nobody can run his offense and all this other stuff. And McDaniel can't look at 700 plays of another individual and say, "Hey, I'm gonna design something around this 700 plays." We just conveniently forget about that.
Right, and I love how they continue this Shanahan narrative that you and I, Crypto, have already destroyed several times. This is not Shanahan's offense. It's not Shanahan's offense when Shanahan runs it.
Right.
It's just the West Coast system. And they do whatever they want to do inside of that based on the attributes of their players.
Modified towards the players that they have.
Yeah, so whatever skill set the players come in, they'll tweak it based on the personnel group. That's it. That's the only difference.
And 80% of the league runs it.
Right. It's more of a philosophy than a game plan, or a set of plays.
More of a philosophy, yeah.
Well,
I mean, Danny already told everybody that's what it is, so I think it's kind of funny.
Well, I must have posted the link to the West Coast, the website that's devoted to the West Coast, westcoastoffense.com. Okay. I must have posted that link a dozen times, and people still want to continue with this narrative.
Tyler, you should author a book, and the title will be "It's Just a Philosophy."
Right.
The West Coast.
Hey, check this out, KP. If I know you watch a little basketball. If Danny Shades was to go out there and give you a 10-point presentation on how Vashawn Leonard plays close and similar to Michael Jordan, will you buy that argument?
Hell no.
Okay, so why is everybody buying the argument of a 7-string quarterback?
I like Vashawn Leonard. He played for the Heat at one time.
I know that. That's why I was using that example, because it's almost similar to when the Alowskis of the world start giving their expertise takes on how things are going. Not throwing shade, but I'm just saying, but people just go blind faith.
Right. Well,
based on how they sound.
But they both have bald heads, though, Crypto. Come on now.
Danny Shades, he's not a top 10 NBA player. He's not even he's in the bottom 10,000th player. That played the game of back. But he's going to tell you that Vashawn Leonard all of a sudden has a similar game to Michael Jordan and start showing you attributes and bringing up all kinds of crazy numbers to try to support his thesis. Then how many people is he going to believe that all of a sudden saying, "Oh, Vashawn Leonard is like Michael Jordan. He has the same traits."
Right.
Yeah, but what he forgot to mention is in the game of golf.
Right. real quick, guys. So This is from the unofficial website of the West Coast Offense, westcoastoffense.com. Introduction and definition. The West Coast Offense is used by many successful football teams today. For example, Denver Broncos, Green Bay Packers,
Right.
Seattle Seahawks. Can this offensive system be implemented and effective on the high school level? Yes. That's what this website is geared towards.
On the high school level.
Up and coming high school coaches, right? The purpose of this website is to provide a concise and organized overview of the West Coast offense. It goes on to say what's included in it and all that.
Right.
Definition. The term West Coast offense has a twofold meaning. One, it describes a ball control offensive system that uses the timed short passing game. And two, it also describes the entire offensive structure from play schematics, preparation, installation, implementation, game planning, execution, and attention to every detail of the system. The prime example of this definition is, of course, the San Francisco 49ers. Bill Walsh, the offensive and organizational mastermind, meshed this two-part definition together into the most proficient and prolific offense of the modern football era. Bill Walsh has stated the following, quote, "The term West Coast offense is an umbrella term for precision-timed passing, variable formations, and the exploitation of each player's skills," end quote. In finding a winning edge, Coach Walsh also said, quote, "The West Coast offense still amounts to nothing more than the total attention to detail and an appreciation for every facet of offensive football and refinement of those things that are needed to provide an environment that allows people to perform at maximum levels of self-actualization," end quote. Therefore, Bill Walsh's West Coast offense is not just a split back short passing throw offense, it's much more. And you can go to westcoastoffense.com to click on next and read the rest if you'd like.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Where's Ron Jaworski when you need him?
Yeah. But you know what's funny is
Yeah,
a lot of
dog.
people say that one of the reasons why Dan Orlovsky is so credible is because he works for ESPN. Well, Stephen A. Smith does too. So
Good point.
So I would submit to you that it still remains on the quarterback to be the difference maker, all things being equal, because all of these West Coast offenses are built the same way with similar caliber players. Okay, so the bottom line is not only can other players run this system, but there's plenty of other players that can do it better.
Right. That's interesting. You said that because a lot of people will come back and say, well, no one can run it as effective as Tua can.
Right.
Throw that
But what they're
caveat.
saying, Crypto, is that nobody can run Mike McDaniel's current wrinkle better. Well, Mike McDaniel's wrinkle is only there to accentuate Tua. What did the article just say?
It's not like if he didn't say that explicitly when he was hired either.
also Mike McDaniel's wrinkles there because Tua's stressing him out.
The article just said that the entire philosophy of the thing is to accentuate the player's skills.
Yeah.
Good point.
It's adjustable to do that for each individual player. If you don't have really fast wide receivers, you do this or that or the other instead. And it all can be run inside that same schematic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
If your quarterback don't have a strong arm, you can do other things. If your quarterback does have a strong arm, you can do other things. You know?
Yeah.
If your quarterback is good at things breaking down, oh, well, that means we can take more chances in what we try to do schematically because we know this guy is going to save the day on a broken play.
Like Dan Marino.
Well, today's current best example would be Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew does pretty good. Well,
yeah. I mean, again, a lot of times it's just everything's about timing and the will of the mind of that quarterback. Again, why isn't Gardner Minshew talked? Well, because there's something about him in his head that makes him less an alpha than the rest of the guys. You know what I mean? Same with Skyler. That's what I try to tell Pete. I don't know what it is, Pete, but there's something they know about Skyler that makes them say, nah, he ain't that guy, no matter what his talent is. We're not there to know. I'd like to believe with, I was having a conversation with Mountie earlier. I'd like to believe that Skyler would given, focus in practice and camp and all that, and, being treated as the guy, I'd like to see. But I'm not there to know whether they believe his mind is that type of mind. He might be like a lesser alpha. And they know that because they interact with the guy every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always just about talent and all that. It's about, this is partly why people like Tua so much, because he says, no matter how bad I am, I'm going to act like I'm good until I'm good.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's a very likable trait. That's a very endearing trait.
But as we, list these theories, or ideas about what it is, I mean, really, I think we're working a little bit too hard, man. You don't need to look further than the performance with the eye test in those critical games. It tells the whole story. I mean, the last time we saw was in the very cold, deadly cold Kansas City game. And for me, that, that's all you need to see, man. One quarterback's walking off that field as a winner and the other one's not.
And the other guys that they keep bringing up, those guys would have walked off maybe a loser, but a competitive loser.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
not total
that's
capitulation. Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't have been outclassed. See, this is what people don't realize. It's not so much that Tua loses to the good teams, or it's that we either destroy teams or we lose horribly. Tua doesn't lose close games. Rarely. Most of them he's outclassed when we lose.
Right. There's no consistency throughout.
Yeah, most of the losses are bad losses versus a close loss.
Except maybe the one loss, the Buffalo loss when it started snowing.
Right. He did show some.
Josh Allen didn't outclass him that night, other than being able to play better when the snow started falling, because obviously Josh Allen has better attributes when it comes to running in the snow and all that.
Okay, fine. He has more of a dynamic, more dynamics.
And good for them. That's all I can say to that. I'm still a Dolphins fan, you know what I mean? But
yeah, when it comes to
is that Tua didn't get outclassed that night, but most other losses have been completely outclassed.
Right.
That's what we're talking about here.
By the way, if you're watching us in Denver, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th, Mountain West folks. Mountain West folks in the party now.
For the Mountain Time Zone.
And as always, like we do at the top of the hour, we want to just give a quick shout out to.
What's up, y'all? This is Chef Jew. Looking for a great chef for your next catering party, private party, office party, etc. with welcome watering meals and desserts. Let Chef Jew Catering and Sweet Treats take care of it for you at an affordable price. Call me at 786-804-8096. Also, reach me at chefjewcatering@gmail.com. Direct message on Facebook and Instagram at Chef Juice Catering. Chef Juice Catering and Sweet Treats. Food with a passion. We do it all.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor. We're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Finn's Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
Way to go.
We gotta get them graphics. We gotta get them graphics updated, man. We got so much more over at the shop now, man. Check out TFTGnetwork.com, man, and check out all the stuff we got in the shop. We got way
by the
more.
way, check out the new T-shirt we have. It is,
for example. There you go. For example.
Yeah.
By the way,
new T-shirt.
Am I like totally? Oh, there I am up in the top right. I'm like, man, I thought I was totally cut out of the picture, man. Like, what are y'all doing? Firing me or something?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
I think do it like the Trump way. You're fired.
Well, I don't take a lot of pictures at the games and all that. That's probably why.
Hey, speaking of 4th of July,
game, Vice City game.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. Speaking of 4th of July, in NFL history, let's all name, in light of like fireworks and stuff, one of the most explosive NFL players in history that you can think of.
Josh Rosen.
I'll start with somebody. I'm going way back. And he's not even one of the top guys, but he's one guy I remembered from when I was really starting to watch football. Eric Metcalf, right? This guy played for the Browns. I think he was on the team that was last coached by Belichick himself, actually, when he was with the Browns. And he is one of the few NFL players that had 7,000 yards from the line of scrimmage, both 7,000 turn yards and line of scrimmage yards.
What about defense? Let's do offense and defense, Ali.
Crypto, I'm still yours. Devontae Parker.
There you go. Well, oh man.
Yeah, for me, it's got to be none other than Barry Sanders.
Oh, that was that was too easy. I was trying to go somebody harder.
I'm gonna go for the low hanging fruit and say Randy Moss.
Randy Moss, yeah.
I'd go Thurman Thomas. Thurman Thomas would just absolutely take over ball games, man. You know, and the other guy got on defense.
What do you guys think of him?
The other guy, call me a homer, but the other guy I got on defense is JT, man. Another guy that just could absolutely take over a fourth quarter and change the outcome of a game. You know what I mean?
On defense, I'd say LT, Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking for the Dolphins, I can't look past Ricky Williams, man. Ricky Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was.
I'm on defense. I'm going to go probably Derek Thomas or.
That was going to be another one for me.
Tell you what, I'm gonna show you. Speaking of, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you Hurricane some love. On defense, when it comes to explosiveness, Warren Sapp.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
He held down two different defenses.
Well, I'm going to go that
put Sean Taylor there too. Sean Taylor.
I'm going to go Jerome Brown or Reggie White.
Yeah. Yeah, Jerome Brown, before he died, his trajectory was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Nobody can handle him. Yeah.
If we're going to go
unblockable.
I did. Sorry, I apologize. Which I didn't mention. Ed Reed. That's one.
Yeah.
He is. He could really tear apart the defense.
I mean, literally explosive. Ray Lewis literally like kill people on the football field.
He's a record, man.
And off.
Good.
Yeah, you talk about the Atlanta knife attack. Yeah.
Disrupting plays, man. He's just always disrupting plays.
Yeah. I mean, if you talk about the Dolphins, though, I mean, after Ricky, you got to look at even Tyreek Hill, man.
I wouldn't. Yeah, he classified.
I'd even say Lamar, because nobody, like, to me right now in the league,
there's
nobody that, like, if I'm a opponent of any of the Ravens at all, no matter what team I go with, like, I'm scared every time Lamar's got the football in his hand and the play is live. You know what I mean? Like, every single play. You know, like the dude can just rip it off anytime he wants, man.
Yeah, because the more time you give him, the more dangerous he
let's
is.
be real. You can say, oh, he's not a pure quarter. You can have all the tropes you want. The guy is the real life joysticking. You know?
Yeah.
Like I've never seen a runner as gifted as Lamar
I don't
Jackson.
think you could shoehorn him into that Larry Coker style. Let's just throw the ball in the flat or throw it real quick, drop back, plant through it. You know, that's not his game.
Right, but even if you were to,
you can't shoehorn him like
crypto though. Even if you were to say shave off a slight degree of running ability off of Barry Sanders and give that guy the ability to throw above average as a quarterback, that's Lamar Jackson, man.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. In the debate we were having the other day, that's why I don't get that people don't see that. If Lamar Jackson wanted to be a 1-2-3 throw guy, I'm pretty sure he could do that at a very high level. The inaccuracy comes in precisely because of the movement when he's moving and throwing on the run, which is
right. Which he's not playing.
But even then, KP, how about the one where he jumps up over the offensive line and dishes out a ball to the tight end? Like, who can do that?
Yeah, jump passes.
That one jump pass he did to Likely, I think it was against the Jaguars on the Sunday night game.
But speaking to the inaccuracy, though,
for the people that say he can't be a timing thrower, do they forget Rashad Bateman taking it to the house on us on a slant route?
Yeah, that was a timing throw. Yeah,
and
that was a deep in cut route that he took the distance. Yeah, that was a good example. Yeah.
You don't think John Harbaugh implemented that purposely to show, hey, if you can do that with Waddle like we did against the Patriots, we can't. You don't think we can do that?
We can do the same thing. If you watch Lamar Jackson play, right? If you watch him play, when he does drop back and throws deep, he throws. When he misses by throwing with too much arm, right? The receivers can't catch up. He doesn't throw like he's not going to make like I have to Deshaun Watson lately. You know, he'll throw a ball and it doesn't get to the receiver. You know, it goes to the dirt. You'll never see that happen.
And let's be real, Lamar is way better with that than he was in his early in his career. No, sure, he still suffers from it. You know what I mean? Quite a bit, like not being able to control. You know, like other quarterbacks.
It's a throttle. It's a throttle.
He's improved enough that when you look at him as an overall package, like, I'm sorry, even Mahomes being the GOAT, I would still take Lamar Jackson and roll with him. Big trust. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean
that speed and with his legs is just hard to overcome. Yeah, because he decided to take off. He can go 80 yards on you.
Hey, what's up, Pete? You got insomnia, Pete?
What's up, guys? Yeah. Shout out to you guys, man. Appreciate you guys having me up. But that was an interesting topic right there about that Lamar Jackson, because it made me come up with this question, right? Let's say there was just two tiers of quarterback lists.
Okay.
One tier
only two.
Just two tiers, and you have to select the quarterbacks and put each quarterback on a certain tier. And there's
there's gonna be two tiers: the people that want to assign, and the people that don't want to assign.
I want to know if Lamar Jackson is on this certain tier. Tier 1, quarterbacks that wouldn't shock you, that would win a Super Bowl. And then the other tier is obviously the opposite. Quarterbacks that will shock you, that would win a Super Bowl. And that answers who's a good quarterback and who has their doubts.
Right. If we were watching, because if we're sitting here watching the Ravens in the Super Bowl next year with Lamar and he's just rolling through it, everybody would just be like, yeah, that was inevitable.
Right.
You know, whereas they were 14-2, here's the thing. As opposed to a guy like Kirk Cousins, where you're like, you know, I'm kind of surprised he actually finally did it.
Exactly.
Right.
And you know what? The Tua sycophants would would be like, oh, no, it's just the people around him that got him in that position to win. It wasn't really him, and wouldn't give him credit, bro. That's
right, Ali. That's
So
the
you guys
difference.
go through
You're right, Ali.
that
That's
32,
exactly
and
what
let me see what
happened.
side of the list y'all put
Ali is
him on.
so spot on. Yes, that is
That's
exactly what happened.
bro. Even when we were thinking about, even with all the talks about maybe
Yeah.
Lamar coming here, bro, that was the thing. He's not a good passer. He's a one-trick pony.
He can run this offense.
The ball. Well, guess what? He's the league MVP, and guess what? His passer rating was pretty damn good. That's all I'm going to say.
Would Joe Burrow
Passer
shock
rating
you
was actually
guys?
over 100. Yeah.
Would Joe Burrow
Yeah, it
shock
was
you
over
guys
100.
if he wins the Super Bowl?
No, Joe Burrow at this point, no. He's been to
if he won, no, not if he won.
No.
How about if Justin Herbert won a Super Bowl?
He could have won.
Justin Herbert winning a Super Bowl definitely would surprise me. It would definitely surprise me.
So he's on the shocking
maybe, but
he's on
overall, no, because I think he's got a good coach.
I'll tell you why, bro. I think he's too scared to play this game, and that's why he throws the interceptions that he shouldn't be throwing, bro. That's the problem.
He's got he's got a great coach in Jim
Right.
Harbaugh.
I would say no because he's got a good surrounding cast now.
Right. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm willing to bet that in 2 years' time, Harbaugh is going to be drafting a new quarterback.
Would Aaron Rodgers now in the Jets shock you guys?
But you got to realize if you think Kaepernick is not as talented as Herbert, and Harbaugh could take him to a Super Bowl, what's the difference with him and the Chargers?
Say that one more time, Crypto. I misheard what you said. Say it again.
Harbaugh took Kaepernick as his quarterback to the Super Bowl. Why couldn't he do it with Herbert?
I think Kaepernick is more of a quarterback than Justin Herbert. That's why.
Oh,
okay.
I really do not believe in Justin Herbert. I do not buy this hype that he's some elite quarterback. I think he's a false narrative quarterback that everybody wants to hype up.
Like Tua, Ali, we're gonna see this year. I think.
Yeah.
This year you're gonna get a good chance to see where he's at.
All the things he did.
Calling Justin Herbert a cheap fake? Is that what you're saying, Ali?
Yeah, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to close the book on Justin Herbert yet.
Yeah, because I mean, if everybody giving Tua the difference, Herbert's got just as many new head coaches as Tua have had.
Yep, and he's just as young as Tua.
Right.
All I'm saying is, I just don't believe in him, bro. I don't believe. I think
I'm just saying if they're gonna use the argument that he had a lot around him and a lot of turmoil and change, well, Herbert now has that argument with him now. He has a lot of turmoil and turnover and change.
This guy had like top receivers around him, one of the best, in my opinion, some really good damn running backs around him, and the guy couldn't get it done. You understand what I'm saying?
They're not always at it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it sucks when you score 30 and the defense gives up 31. So
right.
I get that.
The offense was always top of the league when his defense was giving up 31.
My point is that
he's never going to be able to get it done. He's Marino 2.0.
I'm going to say it very similar to Tua. When the pressure gets to him because it's a big moment, he doesn't cross the line. That's my problem with him. And that's why I said he's too scared to play this game, right? I think Tua has the ability, and at times he's not too scared to play this game. Hence, that's why we won against Dallas. But he needs to be more consistent with that. And that's something I don't see from Herbert.
Wait a minute. As pertains to the question that Pete asked, I would agree with Ali simply because Justin Herbert is not. I think he's better than. Like I'm differing on Ali's opinion on where he's at with Justin Herbert. I'm more expecting him to, be more than like get over. Like I think he's going to return to form, that he started with as far as putting the numbers up. But at the same time, when it comes to if he won a Super Bowl, how would I think about that? I would be surprised simply because he's not good enough, to Ali's point, to be the type of guy that gets an organization like the Chargers to the promised land. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers is a really hard organization to win a Super Bowl with. simply because of all kinds of circumstances.
I think
Their
how about
ownership,
dynamic?
Their quality of management.
That's why I would be
surprised. The being in the shadow of the Rams, all of it.
Oh yeah, 100% Color. They will.
And
be,
I don't think Herbert.
You got to think about it. You got to think about it this way, Color. You got to think about it this way. You got to think about it this way, Color. Let's say they don't win a Super Bowl with Herbert. Add another 5 more years. That's a 10 season, no Super Bowl winning decade, right? Before Herbert, they had Phillip Rivers. That guy played for 10 years.
Yeah, no and Super a great Bowl. Quarterback.
Yeah, and a great quarterback. It's about to be.
There were times when I'm like, damn, I wish we had him. You know what I mean?
They had.
Well, it's no different when you got the GOAT.
5 years.
When you got another player that when you got 1 or 2 teams hogging up all the Super Bowls, you can't put it on the other guy that's not winning it.
Yeah, well, but when you think about it,
when Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes is occupying all the Super Bowls, it's not their fault.
Pete makes a good point about Drew Brees. People want to think that Drew Brees was bad in San Diego. He wasn't. He gave them an 11-5 record when he was there.
Sometimes you're just born at the wrong time, and sometimes you're born into the middle of somebody's dynasty and you can't overcome it. That also plays a role too. It doesn't mean the quarterbacks is bad. If they just happen to break through that 1 year and win, no, I'm not going to be surprised. Because it was that 1 year that maybe the Chiefs have a down year, like 1 years there were the Patriots having down years, and the guys like Ben Roethlisberger snuck in a couple of Super Bowls, and freaking Eli Manning's of the world, and Peyton Manning's got theirs. I mean, sometimes you're just born at the wrong time. I'm not going to blame those quarterbacks and say, "Oh, I'm surprised because they won." Maybe the other teams have a down year that's making dynasties.
I want to address Michael K real quick. Michael K says Herbert breaks Marino's passing record for first 3 years in the league, and Ali doesn't think he's a top quarterback. I believe the only record he's broken of Dan Marino, and please correct me if I'm wrong,
the fastest start to 50,000 yards.
It's the touchdown records, first of all. And it's not
broken multiple Marino records.
Let me land.
No, it was multiple. It was like the fastest of 15,000 yards. The most, stuff like that.
It's not a fair assessment when you talk about the touchdown record, because Herbert's played more games in his first 3 years than Marino did. So I don't want to. If Marino had the same amount of games played, I'm willing to bet Marino is going to have way more touchdowns and more yardage.
I think you're talking about the yards. I don't know if you're talking about the touchdowns. Maybe it is touchdowns. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bad comparison. Marino also had a Super Bowl.
90 touchdowns.
Herbert is an odd guy. It's really, really hard to answer Pete's particular question about Herbert. All I can say is now at this moment,
he had so much
I would
turnover.
be surprised if he won it. You know what I mean?
It would have shocked me if he won it.
No.
Right. That's why I got to say no. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me either.
No, it wouldn't shock me because now they have an actual legitimate coaching staff around them.
How about this next quarterback?
It made it shock me if they still had Staley.
None of that's been able to get the starters to the advanced crypto. Even before Justin Herbert was there.
But they never had a coach like Harbaugh, neither a competent coach.
True.
Would you guys be shocked if Kyler Murray won a Super Bowl?
Absolutely.
At this stage, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm you know how I feel about Kyler.
It wouldn't shock me if he won a playoff game because guess what? He almost did. I think he did.
I did a whole
that
video
year,
on
what you call it.
See, I'm looking at Michael K. You can say I'm wrong,
He's
but
a playoff winner. I don't know if he can win a championship.
I'm reading about the touchdowns. I don't see that he broke a passing record for yardage. So
I'd say no, Pete. I think Kyler's at a stage in his career where he's going to either develop into that kind of quarterback or fade away. You know, he may have that next look.
He had one MVP like year, and then everybody started getting hurt around him. They started out 10-1, and then they went
got
on the fly.
embarrassed in the playoffs, no different than Tua does.
Right.
Yeah, that's the year I'm talking about. The year that everybody
I see what you're
got
talking
hurt.
about. Okay.
He lost like 3 wide receivers and 4 linebackers. The year they went 10-1.
JC, man, JC's back. It's been a while, JC.
But yeah, they probably would have went to the Super Bowl. Had Hopkins and all those guys gotten hurt, they would have won because they always beat the 49ers.
This is a crazy name that I'm going to say next.
I really believe
I'm not going to
would have won the Super Bowl that year.
I'm not gonna lie. If you were to ask me between these two quarterbacks, who would you think would win a Super Bowl first? I'm picking Geno Smith before Kyler Murray. Would you guys be shocked if Geno Smith wins a Super Bowl?
Kinda,
I'd say
yeah,
yes.
but
No,
since I've been
he's
following all
putting up
the
the
stats the
numbers.
past couple of seasons, not really, Pete. He's actually a
Yeah,
decent
he's played well, but I
quarterback.
think the
God
ship has
damn.
sailed.
They
I think
playing
he
in
would
the
have had to do
same.
it over in the last 3 years. I don't think. I think the ship sailed with Gino. They got a whole
Well,
new
not really.
regime
Depending
over
how.
Seattle.
Listen, if Mike McDonald, not Mike McDaniel, Mike McDonald gets himself a good historic defense, I think he could do it.
They could get another
Right.
shot.
He
You don't
will
think that
literally be
offense
in the
is
same
stale now?
situation the
I mean,
Ravens
if
was.
there's anything to the idea that we're now seeing the real potential of Geno Smith, because at some point he turned on his maturity like a light switch, then we can't really know. The book's not
What
finished
to
on
shake
him yet. You know what I
to
mean?
shake points if that defensive coordinator now become head coach can give him a Raven like defense, they can compete in that conference to a Super Bowl.
Think so? You don't think that offense has aged out a little bit with Tyler Lockett on his last
No,
legs?
Bro,
they wide
have
receiver core was ranked number 2 in the league.
Yeah, I know DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith and Jigba. And then that
Well,
running
and
back they
again, they
got.
can be competitive.
Yeah,
but
they got
there's
a
lot to
young
winning a
backfield.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
To Pete's question, there's a lot more to just winning a Super Bowl than just being competitive. Would you be surprised if Geno was hoisting the trophy?
I would be
Here's
surprised.
the thing too. You got to remember that
I don't know. The
DK
conference
Metcalf, even if DK Metcalf loses his speed, he's still a physical force like Antoine Bowden or
Right.
Right.
Like Mike Williams. Like Williams in Tampa
They
Bay.
trio wide receivers
Question
are
might be a
sufficient to
little
win in
more
that conference.
specific than we're giving it credit for. Like, would you be surprised if you were looking at your TV and saw Geno Smith hoisting the trophy? I'd
say yes.
No, it depends on who they played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't believe in Seattle like some of you may. I would say yes.
If they was playing a team like the Colts in the Super Bowl, no, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but they have to get to the Super Bowl first.
They have no problem with the 49ers, Rams, or Eagles. They've beaten those teams before.
Yeah, they're a weird franchise. They're competitive against the good teams,
And
but then their
who
record
says
is always like 8-8 or something like
who
that.
says some crappy team is going to make it on the other side?
Yeah.
Man,
Will you guys be shocked if Baker Mayfield wins the Super Bowl?
It's just one and done. It's not best out of 7 series.
Baker Mayfield, no, I would not be shocked if I saw him hoisting.
I know you had that debate with Real Talk, right?
I mean, you can have a crappy
this.
team make it.
And I would say
all you gotta do is be lucky 3 times, or 2 if you get a bye or whatever.
Luck would make you.
I'm naming. I don't know if you know this, Crypto. I'm trying to name NFC quarterbacks because I know the NFC.
Well,
is
7
wide
seed
open.
can make it to the Super Bowl.
If somebody's winning on luck, Crypto, that should surprise you. That was the essence of the question. Would you be surprised?
Right.
And listen, I would win on luck 3 times. The Patriots did it in their first Super Bowl.
Surprised by somebody winning by luck, then your answer is no. Nobody would surprise you winning the Super Bowl.
Nobody would.
You're right,
well, no,
you're right.
No one. That's my whole point, because I'm not shortchanging really nobody. This league is more parity in this league than it's ever been before.
Yeah, that's true, but for Tampa Bay, for Baker Mayfield to win, that defense would have to rise back to the Warren
always going out on the limb
Brooks
and picking a brand new team to win the division, or win the division like the Texans did, like I called, or a brand new team coming out of nowhere and making to a playoff winning 10 or 11 games. That's my rationale, because this league is more freaking parity in it. That's why I would never be surprised if anybody win the Super Bowl no more.
Right. Well, the ingredients would change. If anybody wins, they would have to have a certain formula for that Super Bowl victory, right? And if we're considering Tampa Bay, I don't think Baker Mayfield by himself is a Super Bowl quarterback. But if those elements around him align a certain way, then yeah, if they had a Tampa like a Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks defense,
that's what I'm saying. There would be nothing precluding Baker from winning Whereas there might be something that precludes Geno Smith from winning in that situation. That's all I'm saying, Crypto.
Right.
Like,
If Brad Johnson could win a Super Bowl, then anybody can. If Trent Dilfer could win a Super Bowl, then any quarterback can.
Right.
And that was a league back then, but we living in the Mahomes era now, where that team could just take a year off and anybody can fill a void. I truly believe with the right game planning, the right roster building, one team can do it out of nowhere.
Okay. So let's rephrase the question, because obviously if there's a down year and a whole bunch of teams have injured players, then you wouldn't be surprised, if a lesser quarterback won it. I get that.
That's why that was the best opportunity
so
to knock the Chiefs off, and nobody didn't do it.
So all things being at their best this year, all teams being at their best, would you be surprised if these guys won it? You know what I mean?
There is a team that I would be very surprised if they won it.
No,
if they were at their very best this year. That's
why I said I have to depend on the matchups, the personnel.
Well, the Patriots would.
But they have to go with the who's playing who.
Patriots
Patriots don't have a chance.
Justin Herbert was still want to shock me. I still put Justin Herbert as a no shocker.
But given the type of team Patrick Mahomes had last year, Crypto, it's easier to answer that question with a no. I wouldn't be surprised for him than it is for Geno Smith. Could you agree there?
If Geno Smith was playing somebody that they match up well against, that's why
I mean if Geno Smith was just rocking with that crappy a team all year.
Well, they wouldn't get that far if they was really crappy, is what I'm saying. If they made the
playoffs, Patrick Mahomes.
But I'm just saying, if they make the playoffs, now everybody's 0-0. All you have to do is go on a 3-game winning streak, and you're in the Super Bowl.
Right. Well, if it was that easy,
you're saying if they get past the gauntlet of their conference.
If it's that easy, why is it only Mahomes doing it for the last 5 years?
Well, it's because it's Mahomes. Nobody knocked him off. Nobody matched up well enough against him to knock him off.
So that right there should surprise you if somebody else did it.
No, it wouldn't, because if Green Bay would have played them or Detroit would have played them, I would have easily picked Green Bay or Detroit because they match up well against them.
Right. Oh, I kind of think Detroit might have beat them.
And so Green Bay match up well against them.
I think you're right that San Francisco doesn't match up well. And when you're talking about West Coast versus West Coast, both run at a high level, it's going to come down to Mahomes versus Brock Purdy. And that's why they were never going to win that game.
That's why they always get away with spotting them 10 points in every matchup and still wind up beating them. They spotted them 10 points in both games and still beat them.
Now, if Baker has another average year and wins one playoff game and that's it, and does the same thing he's done, and then he wins a Super Bowl in 2025, that would surprise me. But right now, it wouldn't, because I think he's actually
Baker's not
playing at a high level, and people.
I don't know if Real Talk says this crap, but Baker's won just as many games, in the regular season as Tom Brady. Tom Brady won the Super Bowl.
I know. I'm just with Baker Mayfield.
Real talk or real talk?
I don't even real talk.
Real talk. I think EM said they're the same person, so I'm confusing them two.
Look. With Baker, I actually didn't believe in him when he first came out. I didn't believe in the hype. I didn't like the guy. He's been playing at a high level for most of his career and just getting crapped on.
Facts.
And thrown around. I mean,
I think he has the rookie record. Correct me if I'm wrong, KP. I think Baker still has the rookie record for most touchdown passes.
I have no idea. You're the stats guy, Crypto. I wouldn't on that.
I'm just saying, verify it.
Can we say that attitude-wise, maybe he's perceived like a Jay Cutler type? Like maybe he's the new.
No, I thought he was Johnny Manziel 2.0 coming out.
Well, when he came out, KP, that's why I didn't believe in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was Johnny Manziel.
Now it's kind of like,
you're
what
right.
else is the other reason except people don't like his attitude? You know what I mean?
He had the Johnny Manziel moxie. That's a good point, KP. He did have that kind of going.
But no, he's cool to be.
That video came out. he had that video came out where he was a dick to the cops and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I just think people don't like him.
I think it's something he did either in Cleveland that kind of carried along with him, where nobody wants to give
on
him
his
credit for
resume,
anything.
right? Whatever it is, it's
I
on
think
his
it's his
resume.
old baggage in Cleveland. That's
He
the
got
reason why
caught
people.
banging some girl behind the bleachers or something.
I
think
think
so.
I think the issue that people have with we're talking about what's his name, Baker, right? Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the issue that people have with him was his attitude that he carried in college and carried out of it. Like, for example, going up across
the Oklahoma stuff,
grabbing his junk, again, disrespecting the other team, taking.
I liked him for that stuff.
He ran from the cop.
Well, that's the Oklahoma stuff. Yeah.
I think all of that kind of rubbed people the wrong way. And so people expected him to be, to fail and put too much pressure on him.
They should have embraced that in Tampa.
Maybe it's his first name, Baker. Maybe he's like got the Skyler thing. Skyler Baker. Not going to win a Super Bowl with those names.
You know how I feel about names. It's his whole name. Baker Mayfield, coming off the heels of Johnny Manziel. I just did not believe. I thought it was the same nonsense hype, man. You know?
Baker gets this rap for only winning 9 games in a bad division. Baker gets this bad reputation for winning only 9 games in a bad division, but they gloss over the fact that he still managed to take out the defending NFC champions.
I would love to see. I think we probably still lose, but I would love to see what the game would have looked like with Baker Mayfield against Kansas City last year.
And by the way, shout out to Pete.
Right.
I'm glad you're still listening. Shout out to Pete, man, for giving Crypto an opportunity to co-host.
Because I guarantee you we put up more than 7 points, and I guarantee you we look a lot better doing it.
Right. I'm just saying that they don't realize that
I can see Baker Mayfield running up and down the sideline trying to warm us up, yelling at our team. Like, what the hell? Get it the frick going on. That's what I picture out of Baker Mayfield.
Or didn't he beat the Steelers in another cold weather team in the playoff game?
No, that
when
was
he's with Cleveland.
No. That was Tim Tebow that beat the Steelers.
No, I'm talking about when Baker was there.
I don't think he beat.
Yeah, he beat the Browns. He beat the Steelers. Yeah.
Let me check on that.
It was Steelers.
I would say he actually beat a formidable defense. So it was not only he knocked out the defending NFC champions this year, and
because that was like the first time in a long time that the Cleveland Browns were able to beat the freaking Steelers in the playoffs.
Right, and he did it in another conference and beat another team with a formidable defense.
He beat Tampa Bay, he beat Philly was the other team he beat.
Right, the defending Super Bowl runner-ups.
Yeah.
So not only he knocked out them off their perch, he did it in another conference against Mike Tomlin.
Mm.
So I don't know where all the shade's coming from. All because he won in a bad division. He's getting that overshadows what he did in the playoffs for some reason. I don't get it. I'm puzzled by this. We only gonna make Baker look bad because he only went 9-8, but just gloss over the fact what he did in the playoffs.
Hey, I'm just noticing that, man. You know what I'm looking at? This is a T.F.T.G panel. That's what's up. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
T.F.T.G Insomnia. Yeah. But yeah, Baker gets no love. He's not Tim Tebow, but he's getting the same credit as Tim Tebow.
So pretty much almost everybody on this thing is on here.
Except the two guys in the middle.
All we're missing is El Capitan, Lewis, and
Lewis don't come by no more. I don't know why. You don't come
Lewis,
by.
Tonk, and El Cap is sleeping for some reason.
And why does El Cap get 2 pictures?
Lewis is in the.
Actually, he's got 3.
Lewis and EM is doing that one. Yeah, Cap has got 3. It's like
actually no, he's got 4.
Yeah.
One.
Well, he's in the
one on the top in the middle. on the right, right next, and then above the T.F.T.G and right next to the T.F.T.G. He's got 4.
Must be lying.
Hey, Papa Paul, he's not even on the tailgate. He's got 2 pictures.
He's got a big picture.
Look at that. Got more pictures than I do.
Fellas, the somnia is kicking in for me. Not the insomnia, but the somnia. So I better bow out at this stage. So
Chef Drew's in there too.
Chef Drew, KP
right,
is
guys,
on
good
his
night.
one side,
Man,
right?
good night, KP.
Yeah, good night, y'all. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up in 20 minutes.
Be easy, man.
What the goal? Our goal was to celebrate the 4th of July in every time zone except for
4th of July will be
Hawaii.
The California time zone would be in 20 minutes for the
You mean I got to go back to politics for the rest of the morning?
Halloween. I mean, Hawaii. I think Hawaii is
it's okay because if it got too late around here, I'd probably start talking politics anyway.
Freaking. I think Hawaii is another 2 hours later, so we'd be.
Yeah, we're just gonna do California. So yeah, we're celebrating
California is another
3 time zones.
Because I think it's 6 hours from East Coast from Hawaii time. You have to do it at.
Can you really call it politics when it's not really plural anymore?
Mm-hmm.
I don't call it politics anymore. I call it clown takes.
Right. I'm just thinking politics is kind of not accurate right now. You know what I mean? There's only one side of the politics right now.
I think it's clown takes, bro. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah. I agree with you.
It's like politic and a half.
Anyway, gentlemen, I think I'm out as well. With that, I'm just gonna do a quick thing real quick.
Go ahead,
Happy 4th of July, everybody. Make sure you have a safe and happy holiday. Eat all the food, burgers, hot dogs, have fun with the family, enjoy the kids, enjoy the fireworks. And like the sheriff of St. Lucie County posted a video and texted everybody personally by my name, texted every single person by their name in Port St. Lucie today, said, make sure your kids don't blow their fingers off. All right? Have a good night.
You too, man.
JPP message. There you go, Ali. Appreciate the JPP message there. You got to do the JPP roundup for this particular holiday.
Yeah, this is also known as Darwin Day for those atheists out there.
JPP. JPP. Oh, man. Pete there. Appreciate it, Pete.
They lifted off the hood of death. You know, the hood he wears, they lifted it off and they found it. They revealed his identity. Turned out to be Charles Darwin.
No Darwinism.
Oh no, yeah. Whatchamacallit?
He had a big NS tattooed on his forehead for natural selection.
Oh my.
He's like, I'm with the natural selection party. Happy 4th of July.
Well, it's all paganism.
You might know me. I'm the brother of the Rent Too Damn High party.
Oh yeah, man. What?
Y'all remember the Rent Too Damn High party?
Oh yeah. I remember. Rent's too damn high.
My name's so and so, and I'm with the Rent Too Damn High party.
No, did you ever see that? You ever see the clip of the?
It's always high.
America versus Canada.
It's always low.
No, I haven't.
What video about America fighting Canadians?
No, so what happened was the
Canadian War.
They showed the Canadian chief goes, leave your fobs at the front door because that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? They're not coming to get anything. He goes, leave your fobs. In other words, leave your keys at the front door. So you know, so there won't be no injuries, whatever. And then they got the Florida sheriff. He goes, yeah, man, listen, we encourage our residents to, if somebody breaks in your house, shoot them, and if you kill them, that's less taxes you have to pay.
Wow. More like less paperwork. That's what he's saying.
Oh man.
That's the same mayor, isn't it? Ali's mayor.
He gives gun safety classes to residents to learn how to shoot.
Who was that you talking about? Check. What is that again? I missed.
Florida sheriff.
To give a classes for just the beginner people who never shot weapons before.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I found out too in Texas? In Texas, right? If you're a felon after 5 years, you can have a gun, but only in your house.
Oh, interesting.
And
you can have it in your house after.
Yeah. What's funny is if somebody trespass your property, you could only shoot them at nighttime when the sun goes down. If they break in your not break into your house, but if they trespass on your property, you
can't have a gun after nighttime. Wait a minute.
No, I'm saying if they trespass on your property after nighttime, you could shoot them. But if they trespass during the day, you can't shoot them.
You can't shoot.
Yeah.
So that's in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought they have this Carson doctrine where you could do it anytime you want if it's a trespass that happens.
No, he's saying if you're a convicted felon. If you're
they're breaking into your house, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's
only if you get the gun.
But if they're trespassing into your yard, whatever, that's a different story.
So basically, they're under sanctions that amount to their duty to run is higher. Their duty to evade is higher if the sun is out. Basically. Like, we'll let you shoot somebody because in the dark, it's harder to find an escape route. You know what I mean? Basically is what they're saying.
No,
I know it don't make sense. It is very arbitrary. I hear you. I'm one of those people, except maybe for violent crimes. Except maybe for violent crimes. I'm one of them people that's like, you did your time. You still have the right to protect yourself. I mean, I don't understand how the Second Amendment goes out the window if you did your time, if you're talking about a non-violent crime.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, listen. If I can't have my Second Amendment, I might as well we'll stop paying taxes.
We won't have no crime.
You served your time according to the rules of the Constitution, which allow us to create laws that made you serve time for your crime. You served the time according to constitutionality. Why shouldn't you get your Second Amendment right back?
I mean, most places you will have your full rights restored.
And there's also some places where you can actually write a letter to the judge and petition the judge to give it back.
Yeah, man. It's close to being the 4th of July in the West Coast, man.
They won't let you.
You have to be able to petition the judge, or it's a violation of your 14th Amendment. You know what I mean? So you can ask the judge. You can write a letter to the judge requesting your rights back.
Well, yeah, most places is automatic. You get them all restored after the minute you get sent home.
Right. I'm just in favor of codifying that nationally. That's, I think that should be federal.
Oh man. Did you remember the old joke? What did O.J. Simpson tell Keto after the trial?
Keto or Ito?
Ito, my bad. Ito.
Oh, Judge Ito. Yeah, Judge Ito.
Judge Ito. You know what he told Judge Ito after the trial?
What's that?
Can I get my gloves back?
Wow. Do I need to go to get my?
If he so happened to did it, he could have said that and gotten away with it because you can't have double jeopardy.
Right. What about my shovel? Can I get that back?
Hey, what's up, Timothy
He
Washington? What's
turned
going
around
on, my
and said
brother?
to
How
the
you
judge
doing?
and jury, "I did it," after the verdict happened.
Technically, yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. I think it has to be locked in. Like the judge could vacate the verdict if it's early enough.
Well, no, the judge won't be able to do it.
Confessed to it now, so
jury, he was a trial by jury. You have to have a brand new trial.
If the jury stands up and says not guilty, and then 2 seconds later, OJ says, I did it, the judge could vacate that verdict.
I don't think he can. They have to have a brand new trial.
I'm not sure, but I think so, man. If it's that soon after, I don't know. I think it has to still be like codified that they're not.
Is it like so? It's like when you drop a
No,
food on the floor, it's like a 5-second rule.
No, it's like in fairness, it should be maybe when you walk out of the courtroom, like as soon as you step foot out the courtroom, no more double jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they would have to try him again under something else, made up bogus claim, and say, "Well, this is what it was."
Well, they could get him
Well,
for
just like with
the
the Heisman Trophy,
not guilty.
whatever his trophies.
Well, yeah, he stole his stuff back, and they made him pay way more than what the actual sentence should have been.
Yeah, that was definitely retaliation as far as that sentencing goes. Sure.
That was a retaliatory sentence. We'll get you here now. These are your goods, but we're gonna make you pay for
He's probably still wiping the sweat off his brow, going, "Woo! If I just had to serve a couple of years for this other thing, I still did all right, you know."
Oh man! So, what's your favorite? Before we wrap this up, what's your favorite tradition for not Thanksgiving. God damn it. 4th of July.
Barbecue and freaking I guess fireworks is good, but I never had to worry about getting my hands blown off and into pieces. So tomorrow I'm gonna try to make sure that when we do shoot all these fireworks off, that we stay safe. So that is a part of it. One of my favorite things, watching the displays throughout the neighborhood and city.
Yeah, that's
one of my favorites.
all I do.
Because everybody competes for who has the biggest backyard displays or biggest park displays. Mm-hmm. So they're going everywhere. It's gonna be a lot of noise everywhere.
Well, and all I do is sit out front and just watch the local one these days. But when I was younger, man, I used to have this place I could go to that was on top of like a 5-story building that nobody knew about. And it was like a block or two away from where West Palm Beach shoots up their fireworks. So I had like an awesome view for that. But the other thing is, from up on top of that building, you could literally watch every town's fireworks show down the coastline, kind of in succession, because you got a vantage point to see like so far. So like West Palm will shoot theirs off, and about halfway into their show, Lake Worth would start theirs up, and then Lantana would start theirs up, and it's like you could see them all the way down the coastline.
Hey, by the way, you could get down with this tradition, right, Color? Look.
Oh yeah. I'm getting down with that tradition right now. A late night session. I slept all day today, so that's why I got insomnia. Self-induced.
Yeah, I called up Crypto. I said, "Hey man, you feel like doing an insomnia episode?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "All right." And by the way, so y'all know, man, Smoke Lounge is back next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I'm gonna be doing camp battles. We're gonna be talking about camp battles. Round 1 and 2. 3 rounds, you know what I'm saying?
Camp battles, yeah.
Besides the obvious Chris Greer and
athletes starting back up.
Hear me? Besides the obvious camp battle, athletes first and Chris Greer.
Smoke Lounge starting back up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, this Wednesday.
Cool. I'll be ready with the smoke, as you can tell.
What was Michael K talking about? What Herbert 31 and Mayfield 27? They played each other, or the numbers they got?
About the rookie touchdowns. Rookie Mayfield had 27. He broke the record with 27. Then Herbert broke.
Okay, so Mayfield had it eventually. Then Herbert broke his. Okay, 31 as a rookie.
Yeah, man. We got about 6 minutes till the top of the hour.
The West Coast.
It'll be
which also includes Arizona right now because they don't recognize daylight savings time.
No.
Well, to that statement, saying that they played in the last,
Arizona didn't recognize
I think
Martin
he
Luther King
said
for a while.
they lost on the last play. Well, I would say that the Chiefs throttling the Niners, making them believe they had a shot at winning their Super Bowl by spotting them 10 points and still winning the game. So, no.
Hey, didn't Arizona for a long time didn't recognize Martin Luther King?
I think you're right. And see, that's the kind of thing right there, Shake, that bugs me about my side of the aisle. Like, why did they have to be so petty with that shit, Shake? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Yep, that was Arizona.
Hey, we're not going to recognize it because we don't have to. States' rights. It's like, come on, man. Just why do they got to be so
scratching
petty,
and clawing, saying that I won't do it, I won't do it.
Just to be contrarian.
It had to be declared a federal holiday in order for them to be compelled to recognize it.
It's almost like the
federalize it.
No, it's almost like the Illuminati paid them just to be the one voice of dissent because that's required in a democracy. You know what I mean? It's like, what the hell, Arizona? Just, you know.
They did that with the time zones.
Well, it's kind of like the thing that I was trying to say on June 19th with Juneteenth. It's like, if you don't believe that should be a federal holiday, if you've got some kind of political or ideological reasons, dare I say the R word, whatever the reasons, like, it's just being petty at this point. You look at the history, you see that the history is valid. It actually happened that way. What is the harm in recognizing that and celebrate, like honoring that? Like, what is wrong with that? That's
What's wrong with having an 8-hour shift off from work?
Once I was able to verify the history involved, that actually happened, at that point, it was automatic for me. Like, why wouldn't we recognize this? People just being so petty about it.
And it's not like you have to give your employees the day off.
They're so afraid that, it's going to replace this other holiday and this and that and the other. Just stop it, people.
It was in January. What are the days in January?
Right. I mean, I just don't
It's not
understand.
like it's replacing any holiday. It's right in the middle of the month.
I mean, I get people's arguments, but they're petty, is what I'm saying. Those arguments are petty.
Yeah, it doesn't interfere with New Year's. Hell, it doesn't even interfere with
it stands for real freedom. Even if you whatever, okay, fine, that wasn't it still stands for real freedom for people, for a large amount of people.
The only difference if the day doesn't fall on Monday, is mostly observed on Monday.
Right.
So people can have a 3-day weekend. That's the only difference. That it's observed on Monday.
You could even honor the holiday from the respect of, hey, on this other day, we said,
take time off.
No, what I'm saying is on the day of the Emancipation Proclamation, we said no more slavery. But so even if you say to yourself, June 19th represents the day that we actually proved we're putting it in action because of obviously the lack of communication at the time and whatever else caused it to drag on after the proclamation, then we have to be able to recognize, at the very least, celebrate the fact that we followed through with Lincoln's words. You know what I mean? Like, even if you got to convince yourself, if you have to, there is just no reason to be petty by fighting that kind of holiday at the federal level. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we celebrate so much less, like Valentine's Day. Like, who cares about some Greek freaking god of love or whatever he was?
Yeah, man.
Cupid.
Right. Which ain't even has anything to do with Saint Valentine.
It's Cupid. It's a little guy
And even if you say, well, even if you go with the Roman Catholic version with Saint Valentine, I'm not a Roman Catholic either. You know, but we celebrate that holiday.
Well,
we spend a whole bunch of money on it.
Yeah, you could say this is more like spending money. I never get that day off.
Speaking of Valentine's Day, listen, I tried.
I never get that day off at all.
Valentine's Day, I tried, you know, because you know the youth, the young people, they like to do acronyms. You know what I'm saying? WTF, you know what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? OMG, you know, something like that. And I wanted to you know help with that cause. I'm like, hey, listen, on a card that says, hey, young lovers, enjoy your VD. Then take off. No.
Right. Oh man.
All right. 10 seconds. It's gonna be it's 4th of July in the West Coast. For all you that still celebrate 4th of July over there. Happy 4th of July.
Yep.
And that'll bring us to
happy 4th of July for
even
people.
Though there was no California in 1776.
Up and down the West Coast.
It was called Mexico.
Right.
No, it's still a territory.
Clean all the way up into Oregon, Shake. Have you ever looked at an old map before we got all that land, bro? It's crazy. Yeah. Mexico was clean up into like Montana and shit.
Yeah, we got all the way back down to the Baja California.
So, with that being said, any final thoughts before we close this thing up?
Happy Independence Day.
Yep. Happy 4th.
Man.
Go out and be independent.
Everyone.
Oh yeah. Fins up, and we'll see you.
Fins up, everybody.
Next time, baby. Smoke Lounge this Wednesday. Oh no, sorry, drive time. We still have the drive time. I'll see y'all on the drive time.
So Friday.
Yeah.
The day after, okay.
Yeah, tomorrow.
The day after.
I forgot I still have my drive time, so I will see you on the drive time.
Yep.
Get ready to dive